make sure it's working.
Okay. Oh, that's a thing. And so it started.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's delayed officially, not started, nonsense, whatever. I hit the go live button, so I don't know if people are currently hearing things. Okay, it's live. We're live.
Okay,
Hey,
it's live.
11:30 at night.
Yay! So Kamui, a guest is here.
That's right. Introduce yourself.
You know, my name is Shawn. I go by Shawn G9. You know.
Nice.
Right.
What do you want to leave a link to any of your channels and socials and all that?
So for
good
context, so Shawn, when you sent the thing, I got it, and then my Wi-Fi crashed, and so
Yeah.
I wasn't able to actually put it in the description or send it to Kamui or anything.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Put it
So you
somewhere and I'll put it in the
send it.
description. We have a guesty goo. That's what it says.
You want me to resend the link or?
Here, I
Do I
was in the chat of the Discord. I'll put a link to the stream, and then you can click on that, and then within the stream, you can post the link. Or you can also just post the link to your channel right below that. Either way.
Okay.
Wherever you want to put it, just put the link somewhere.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to switch to my wireless mic so I can walk around. Hopefully I don't need to do too much on the screen here.
Okay. Well, with that being said, Boruto. Am I right?
Yeah, dude! Boruto!
Oh, you mean look at the Boruto manga?
Kamui?
Hold on,
That's-
Mike. Wait. Hold on. Trying to figure something out. I don't know how it won't work. It won't let me. This is so stupid. I guarantee it'll work if I do this, but this is more inconvenient, but whatever. All right, yeah, I figured it would
All right.
work.
Glad you did that. So
Okay, so what was the
back
question?
to the question.
Oh, I actually have you guys looked at the Boruto manga?
Oh yeah. In fact, the title of the stream is about Chapter 12, the latest chapter. Now, if you asked us how we've been doing a good job of staying consistent on our channels, the answer would be no. But we've definitely been keeping up with the series.
Okay. Me personally, I've been like mostly anime, like more anime than a manga. Like I watched the whole anime of Boruto and how it ended.
Yeah. So, Kamui, I think I put this in podcast topics. I don't know if you're even still at the computer or not, but so
close
they're
enough.
finishing. They're catching up on the dub of Boruto, and you know,
Okay.
that means they're also doing the Blu-ray release. And I saw Thorn complaining on Twitter that in the Code Arc, the episodes that everyone thought were rushed or whatever, they're not doing any corrections for those episodes. Which I didn't even think about until I saw that, but like, yeah, that was crazy.
So, I mean, the funny thing is, I still haven't watched the Code Arc of the anime. So I don't know what the errors are in the first place. So frankly, when I watch, I'm not even gonna know. So
There you go.
You know, at this point, should I just wait until the dub finishes it and just watch it as the dub? Like I just randomly switch it. Like I haven't watched the dub I watched the Boruto movie in the dub and that's it. So beyond that, I'm just like not used to the dub voices, so I can get them all in that arc.
Okay.
Crazy.
Actually, we did watch the one scene of Naruto yelling Kurama in the dub as well, but that's the point.
Now I want to go through and watch the whole thing over in the dub, just the whole series.
I do. Yeah, same. The only thing that sucks though is with some series, I just like both. So like Naruto, for example. I think both are genuinely good. With Boruto though, I don't know if it's just a thing to where I need to get used to it. Some of the characters, I don't vibe with their dub voices. Like, I don't know if it's just because I got too used to the subbed before ever listening to the dubbed, but some of them just like, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't like that. Like, now obviously there's exceptions. You know, when I listen to Naruto's voice, it sounds like Naruto. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I don't know. Some characters, I already got spoiled when the car actuation arc was being dubbed. That Deepa's subbed voice was just straight up better, and I was like, man, that ruined it for me. But I am excited for like Jigen. I know.
Keep the voice actor. Let's go.
Exactly. So you know the Jigen scenes are gonna be peak in dubbed. But most of them, I just don't know. Actually, I think I may have heard Delta's voice and liked it, but I don't remember.
Oh my god, dude! I heard Ada's voice. It's not what I was expecting. It's not that it's not what I was expecting, but it's not what I was expecting.
I haven't heard Ada's dubbed voice. I'm just gonna come into it fresh. But if it's not the Kamui chapter review Ada voice, I'm gonna be very disappointed. I had a lot of commenters specifically proposing me to be the dubbed voice actor Ada. So.
Okay.
That was a recurring theme for a while. But anyway, what do you think about Boruto? You like it? You hate it? You think it's average? You know, where you stand?
Me personally, like, I think it's gonna be a hot take. What I'm about to say. I think Boruto is better than Naruto.
That's definitely a hot take around here, indeed. Yes.
Definitely.
A flaming hot take.
Yeah, I prefer the Boruto anime over like the Naruto anime. I think it's a really hot take. Yeah. All in all, I like it way more. The animation, they have better characters, better character development. I just like it way better.
Between part 1 and so far part 2 in Boruto, which are you preferring?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the part 2.
So how caught up are you on Two Blue Vortex?
I don't know too much of it because I watched the manga, but I know a little bit of it. I know a little bit.
Okay. Interesting.
Like I'm mostly an anime. Mostly the anime more than manga.
With that said, Kamui, are you at the computer?
Now I'm at the computer.
Okay, go to the comments first tab. There was a comment that was like a perfect comment in reference to this kind of.
Okay.
It's the one that's like it's the tutorial. It's the one with my words on it. Probably. Maybe show it on screen too, or take a screenshot or something, so that I can see it. Well, we don't have to see it.
All right, hold on.
You know, it's being respectful.
I'll share my screen. I forgot that it wasn't already there. Okay, is this legible enough? Or here? It says legible. Oh, that's too big. There. Can you read that?
That's it.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, we can read it. So it's not this. It's the thing underneath this because that's disconnected. That's something else. That's yeah.
This one?
That's okay. This is a comment. Yeah.
Okay. Take it away.
Okay. I guess I'm the one doing this now, even though I'm setting up, walking out of my house. But all right. So I personally think Two Blue Vortex is coming along fine. Not great, but fine. I think I kind of see the point behind the soul thorns as maybe a physical manifestation of the ego received from the person who got turned into a tree. Holy crap, it is warm outside. It is middle of the night. Okay, middle of the tree. But I don't love it. But whatever. To Blue Vortex is currently in a state of have questions, get some of them answered, but have even more questions. I still think this is Kishi's work, and he finally has a better understanding of mystery versus back during Naruto. Toby is Obito was barely what you could classify as a mystery, and now there are more better mysteries. Some objectively more better than others. I really don't care about the Soul Thorns, whatever. I more so care about why the F does Kashin Koji know what a Soul Thorn is? So I liked this comment. I don't know why. Something just stood out to me. It just resonated with me of like, even though I disagree with like all of it, it just felt respectful and nice. And like some parts I do agree with. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's because this just felt like a genuine, this is how I feel about Two Blue Vortex comment versus you're a hater comment. Like he just felt like he was just going through his thoughts about, half the stuff.
Yeah.
Now I will say some of this, for example, I would say I'm even more interested in how Kashin Koji knows about the Soul Thorn than the specifics of what the Soul Thorn is. Granted, part of that is because I think it's easier to guess on what the Soul Thorn is than it is the Kashin Koji part. But I agree there for the most part. In this regard, I don't... They're just different types of mysteries, which is the problem. It's Toby Obito thing is more like the what is Jura's identity mystery. Versus how does Kashin Koji know about Soul Thorns mystery? They're just two different types of mysteries. So I just feel like it's a poor example. Now, if he said Toby is Obito is barely a mystery compared to who is Jura, if he said that, I could be like, okay, I understand what he's going for.
Sure. I do think, I think part of the reason I like this comment is because of what I was saying last stream to whoever guessed that had a similar idea. They're enjoying Two Blue Vortex for what it is, but they're acknowledging what it isn't great. Or actually, to make it even more fun, it's not enjoyable, but he's enjoying it.
Well, that's like us, though.
Yeah, but everyone hates us, so...
Well, that's, because we actively will make critiques live, but...
Like I said, this comment resonated with me. So I thought it was a great tutorial for how to comment on the Walky Talky channel.
Yeah.
Because like everyone else disagrees with us, this guy disagrees with us, but I like the way this guy did it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So, no, I think this comment works with what Shawn was saying.
You were cutting out.
It's cutting out a little bit.
Oodie.
Very interesting. But anyways.
What did you say? Well, while you can't talk clearly, Vod Clip says, not gonna lie, you're gonna hate the dub, to be honest, because I hate it and I'm a Boruto stan. And Garshinator says, why is Ada mewing? Call me a her, I think a hater, but oh my lord, this has been an absolute mess ever since the time skip. Man, I cannot get invested in this series. This podcast and some conversations about it are more interesting than the series itself. Let's go! Let's go, Garshinator.
I'll take it.
How do we mod you for that?
As long as you're logged into the Walky Talky channel. There you go, yeah.
Standard moderator.
As long as you're not accidentally editing from your own account like I was trying to do last night.
Yeah. Alright, now Garshin, as long as you don't do some crazy nonsensical stuff as mod, you get to be a mod for that comment. Hey, you guys want to be a mod? All you gotta do is be nice to us. We're pretty easy to please.
Absolutely. Okay, well, with that being said, did we want to move to intro topics, or did we just want to do something else? I don't know. What do you want to do?
We can do intro topics. Okay, so you've seen all of Naruto, so I think we could do some Naruto ones. So, Shawn,
okay.
Yeah.
Who is this? You have to guess. So I'll help you out here. That's Ebisu, Might Guy, Iruka, Anko, Hayate, Aoba, Genma, Kurenai, Asuma. But who is this?
I know him. Yo. He did he's the shinobi that ended up being a leader. He had the scars on his face in the future, in
That's what I said, bro. Yes, the written exams guy.
I got his name.
So now,
Dave, you got it.
Did you still agree? Sabiki. I think he got it early, so that's a bummer. Because the idea was you wouldn't get it, and then you would figure it out.
I see the face. I see his face.
What's interesting,
though, but assuming it's definitely it here, who is it on the first picture?
Yeah,
looks a little different.
What's interesting though is that Obito seems to be a close buddy with Ibiki, because these are Obito's memories. And look how close Ibiki is. Right, so Asuma, Kakashi, and Ibiki are Obito's 3 closest friends. He's so close. I didn't realize they had this relationship.
Who knows? Maybe if Obito saw Kakashi, Chidori, Ibiki instead, he would have jumped straight to the Eternal.
Yeah. It would have been, there would have been no doubts in his heart. All right, now Shawn, the next one here is we discovered this on a rewatch.
Kamui, I just realized something really quick. So, I there's no way Kishimoto was intending this to be the case, but Obito did a tug of war in the middle of a war. Isn't that crazy? That's an interesting concept right there. I'm glad he did that. I like that.
I wonder what Kakashi would... Is that why it's called war, according to Kakashi? The tug of war aspect? But anyway, should I pull up the clip for this, or can I just describe it, do you think?
I think you just describe it.
Okay, so in the dubbed, Haku says to Zabuza, he's like, take off that mask. And Haku says, I have good memories with this mask. So Shawn, in your theorizing opinion, what good memories does Haku have with this mask?
I know this one too. It's been a minute.
I do want to clarify a few things.
We don't see the good memories. It's just your theory.
A few things about this. He's not having good memories around the mask, so you can't necessarily say it's, all the time he spent with Zabuza with the mask on, because that's not with the mask, that's with Zabuza. The second thing is, it's clarifying good memories. And from the moment he got the mask, which is after he met Zabuza, I wouldn't necessarily describe any of those memories he would have had that we would have seen on screen as good memories. So we get to the question. What good memories does Haku have with the mask?
Wasn't it with the good memory was with Zabuza? Alright? Oh no.
So, like, you know,
I
describe
know-
the scene. Like, what do you think the day was like when he was wearing the mask? Or was he taking the mask on a picnic? Was he wearing the mask on a wonderfully, beautifully sunny day with Zabuza? Like, what do you think the good memories with this mask is?
Mm, sure. I think probably like on a ninja mission. I think probably.
Okay, so what kind of mission would be a good memory rather than a bad memory for Haku? Well, I'll help you out here. I know there was a scene where Haku caught a rabbit. I don't think that was like the cat catching D rank missions that Naruto had to go on. I think that was just Haku finding dinner for him and Zabuza. But I also am pretty sure he did not have the mask on in that scene.
Maybe, just maybe, the rabbit led him to the mask. So the rabbit became their pet, and so they had good memories of the rabbit pet that found the mask, and so the finding the mask was like related to finding their pet.
Like that. Now, I also want to clarify. Should we clarify what it says in the Japanese dub, Kamui? Because it's not this.
I forgot what it said in the Japanese dub, but yeah, it wasn't that.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was very different. It wasn't very different per se, but it had nothing to do with the good memories.
Yeah, it was something like, this mask has come in handy, or this mask has been useful, or something.
Yeah.
I forgot what it said, but...
Yeah. But the point is, we watched it in English, so that is our canon version.
Exactly.
So
this
in
is the
our
true
version,
canon. Yeah.
Haku does have good memories with that mask. Chat, what do you think it is? Good memories does Haku have with the mask?
Give us your craziest theory of Haku's good memories with the mask. I like the bunny rabbit one. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yo, Darshikage! It's midnight where Phantom V is. Kamui, what do you think about that? That he needs to leave because he's got to sleep.
Oh, it's after midnight for us.
Adios.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, didn't Denki have a Iron Man looking ass suit in the second tuning exams in Boruto? Yes, he did, and he was OP. Even stronger than Tsubaki. First few anime canon arcs in Boruto were actually pretty good, IMO. I completely agree. Everyone hates them, even Kamui.
What? I just said I agree.
I'm the only one who likes them. It's just me and you, Garshinator. Me and you against the world.
I guess my word doesn't mean anything anymore.
Nah, bro. Not until you're saying Team 7's first mission is equal to the Land of Waves.
I will never
Only
say
then do I
that.
accept it. Hey, Shikamaru's Shogi arc is peak. I refuse to hear otherwise.
Not compared to those Land of Waves arcs, man. And you know it's true.
Well, okay, no, but those are life experiences,
Oodie,
so it doesn't count.
Oh, okay, so you admit they're better. Oodie and Shawn. You remember Deepa?
Yeah.
Imagine Deepa in Kishimoto's manga art style, says Garshinator.
Pretty good. The Deepa was a pretty good character too.
Oh yeah, you know, arguably the best villain in the entire Boruto series,
like,
but you know.
I feel like, ironically, that character design, it's so plasticky, the design concept itself, that I don't think it works in Kishimoto's art style. I think it's better in Ikimoto Kodashi's art style. Well, Ikimoto's in particular.
It wasn't even Ikimoto's art style. It's freaking anime whoever's art style.
Well, you know what I mean. Because the anime's too clean. This is why Ishiki doesn't work in the anime. He's too clean. Go to the manga. He's so gritty.
Yeah, but the thing is, honestly,
So much better.
to kind of counter what you said, though, I think Deepa doesn't work in Ikimoto's art style, but he does in Kishimoto's art style because the Naruto anime, as well as the Boruto anime, try to do something closer to Kishimoto's art style than the Boruto manga does. So, if anything, Kishimoto's gonna have a better time with Deepa than Ikimoto.
Okay, that is an interesting point. Chat, who do you think is right on this? Do you think Deepa looks better with Kishimoto or the manga? I'll ask this as a poll.
Yes, yeah. So Ikimoto or Kishimoto drawing Deepa?
Okay, chat. You know what to do. There's your poll.
Well, that's not...
Stupid.
That's not the poll. That's not the question.
It is now.
But no, I'm ending it. That's not the question. All right, how do I make a poll?
I'm sorry that you're just mad.
Whatever. Good thing I'm logged
Wasabi
into.
was in Mirai manga.
Who would draw
so she can be considered
Deepa
canon.
better?
Was Wasabi in the Mirai manga?
I thought that was
Wasabi
interesting. I want to check that.
Manga,
Kishimoto, Ikimoto. That's the poll question.
It would have to be chapter like 1.
That's crazy. If Wasabi was actually in.
See, but I read all of the Mirai manga extremely slowly as I do. I don't remember Wasabi, but it's been a while since I read it. It could just be like he's in the background in chapter 2 before she leaves the village. No, I haven't double checked.
I think it's gonna be like that. She's just in the background. Like Kakashi and Obito in the Minato manga.
Oh, well, surely, yeah, but like that's besides the point. The point is, I think I would remember her if she was in the background, but I'm probably just wrong.
No, actually, yeah. So I'm gonna piggyback off of Garshinu's comment. Imagine Konohamaru disguising as Naruto to scare Jiraiya. Now, how about this? Imagine, two things. One, Jiraiya targeting Konohamaru because he thinks it's Naruto. Konohamaru's like, shit! Like, he has to undo it. Or two, imagine if Jiraiya's the one who exposes Konohamaru as not being Naruto because he doesn't sense Kurama, you know? Like...
Oh, okay. Wasabi is in the Mirai manga. I'm gonna post this in chat. Yeah, once this actually posts. Oh god, my Wi-Fi is dying again. No. Okay, well my Wi-Fi's ping is just going up and up, so... But for some reason, you guys can still hear me. It's just, I don't know, for some reason, posting a picture is just too much to handle.
It's harder
3,000 now.
Talking in Discord.
That's about to post. I bet you the ping's gonna... ping drastically fell the moment it posted. It's at 800. And now it's back to normal.
Summary too.
Yeah, right? Is that crazy?
That's crazy. They got more screen time than Denki, who's got his own databook page.
Do manga only readers even know Wasabi or Nobita's names?
No.
Yeah, at least we know Denki's name.
Well, no, you know it if you're on Twitter. If you just go into Viz or whatever site and read the chapter monthly, you don't know Denki's name. The only one you know is Metal Lee and Shinky, because Metal Lee has one scene for like 2 panels of him running, and they say his name when he like calls out to someone, and then Shinky, I think Gaara says his name to him.
What the heck am I looking? There is a Naruto couples wiki that does like fan couples, and like the first one on here is between Namida and Wasabi. What am I looking at?
Like probably Cam's
Google is so weird.
website. No, I have to say though, as much as I like having Denki in the manga, I feel like they shouldn't. If they can't even do Inojin right, like, let's not try any more of the side characters. Let's start with the ones who are already in the story and do them right first.
The main characters.
Like,
yeah.
Like, no, again, Shinki's cool enough that I can let it slide. But that's because Shinki's cool. I'm not calling Inojin cool. Or even Denki. I'm definitely not calling Namida cool.
Nah, bro, you're just a hater. Namida is the next generation.
Now, Hoki, you can get away with. In fact, Hoki probably drive the manga sales up because he looks like Kakashi.
Nah, but Hoki is like stone-faced, and we're here to watch a drama fiction series of action and climactic stakes, and Namida expresses her emotions, unlike Hoki.
If I want to see crying, I want to see Naruto and Zabuza crying the Land of Waves, not Namida doing the cry jutsu scream fest.
Yeah, bro, Naruto can only do it in serious moments. At least Namida's able to express herself.
In the worst way possible.
You gotta look at the quantity.
Anyway.
Namida doesn't have to be pushed to it.
Alright, what else we got here? Oh yeah.
Are you finally back downstairs?
Yes, but that reminds me. Hold on, let me double check this. Okay. We could do this one of yours. Try not to do current manga stuff, just because Shawn said he's more of an anime viewer. So.
Yeah, sure. This could be fun. Yeah. No, I thought. Okay, this was really fun. So for the record, for the context for this, Kamui, I want to do this for balloons. So you remember our good friend Tootie, right?
Yes.
Just based on the name alone, do you know? Okay, so you know who that is. Yeah,
know.
The guy who.
Naruto you wanted to get him on to ask him this Naruto question, just to test his Naruto knowledge. Is that it?
Not this. No, I don't want to get him on to ask him this. As funny as that would be, we absolutely should though. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like, that's brilliant.
Wow,
we gotta get him.
Have a Naruto podcast.
Yeah, like. We say it'll be a Balloons X Naruto podcast, so we'll talk about both, and we're gonna act like we think he knows Naruto.
You know what? This can unironically work because we've had Super John Bombo on.
Exactly. We can even say, "Oh, we've had Super John Bombo on this podcast." You know.
I love the idea. Okay, with that being said,
let me write this down in pin messages real quick.
Okay, you should be the one to email him because I've emailed him like 3 or 4 times with no response.
But you've already tried asking him? Like with the walkie talkie?
Not for this podcast, for something unrelated. It was for balloon stuff. Yeah. Not to get political, but I emailed him my idea for a video, and then he made the video.
Ooh.
Right?
We gotta get him on the podcast now. You gotta ask him about that at the end of the stream.
I have told Super John Bombo about that. But anyways, by the way, Kamui, I hate to like say this, but we should also do a balloon stream. If not tonight, then as soon as possible. But like, if we don't do it tonight, then we might as well just not do it at all. Like tonight would be the night to do it because of the new update.
I mean, yes, but should we get the Mermonkey first?
Yeah, good point.
So like, I feel like that's the main thing to be doing. Not doing a stream of us. I mean, we could do a stream of us unlocking the Mermonkey.
That's not fun. Nah. We'll figure it out. Okay. After the stream, we'll see where we're at. Assuming it's not 6 a.m. Okay. That being said, context for this. So Tootie recently uploaded a video of doing a fun challenge, which I do want to do this balloons challenge, to where it's like a game of ours where we place down like 10 different random towers, and we have to go in order of choosing this tower or that tower. So, like, for example,
oh, that reminds me of draft battles in Clash Royale. Not that you
interesting. Okay,
know what that is,
but like
but
you would choose between the Inferno Ring or the tax zone, and so you would get one of them, I would get the other. Yeah. So we would go back and forth for like 5
battles in
rounds,
Clash
like
Royale. I love it. I'm down. Let's do it tonight.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and then we just see who goes farther with our combination of towers, or 5 towers versus your top 5 towers.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Like I said, I'm down to do this tonight at this point. Like, I love it. That's a great idea.
Okay, perfect. With that said, he also has like a couple other fun challenges that I think would be fun to do with you, but we'll do that on a balloon story. Anyway, so back to this. I thought of that, like, inspired me to do this idea, this topic, and we're just gonna do the topic as is. Then afterwards, I think it would be fun. The third idea of this, since there's 2 different topic ideas there, the third part of this, for the finale of this, would be to do the this or that challenge for the Konoha 12 / Sand, Chunin, Jonin, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, get me. Not Jonin, but, you know.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Well, with that said, it sounds like you're away from your computer, Kamui?
I am away from my computer.
Okay, well, I'll read this out. So, if you were a random citizen in the Naruto verse after the tuning exams, and this is specifically after Konoha Crush, so after the events of, like, the day of the tuning exams. So, like, even, like, before Itachi comes to invade, you could say. Or that just doesn't happen in this case. So, with all the knowledge you currently have, like, in your real life, like, you've seen Naruto. That said, you're just going to choose not to talk about Kaguya or Shibai or change the timeline or Ishiki or anything like that. You're just going to let it play out. So you just have the knowledge on the characters, is the point. So, your goal, your objective, your mission isn't to, like, mess with the Naruto timeline or anything. Your objective is you want to hire a Konoha team to be your bodyguard against an unknown Chunin to Jonin level threat. The point is, you don't know who it is, you don't know what it is. It could be anyone. It could be a new character, or it could be a character that you do know exists in the series. Could be Orochimaru, could be Itachi, could be Florp Flap from the Mist Village. You don't know. The point is, you can build your own team using 3 of, like, the Konoha 12 or the Sand Trio. And so who are you choosing? And you also must choose one girl. So, like, you don't get to choose, like, Team 7 or Team 8, Team 19. You don't get to choose the Sand Trio. You have to, from the list of these 15 people, like Build-A-Bear, you have to build your own team that you think would work well together to be your bodyguard. And this is using all the knowledge you know, having seen the series.
So, real quick question, though.
Yeah.
Because you're mentioning the whole series, is this like a hypothetical long term? So, like, knowing how strong Gaara gets at the end of Shippuden versus how strong Lee gets in Shippuden. Okay, so it's supposed to be at the timeline of right after Konoha Crush.
Yeah, specifically after the tuning exams, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So
and
with that, because this is like a mission that's gonna last like a day or 3. The point is, it's not gonna last long.
Okay.
It could last an hour for all we know.
I mean, as far as girls go, I mean, I'm just gonna easily say Tamari, by far the strongest girl. It's like, I think she can work as a team. Like, we can get past that barrier. The only other person I'd say is Hinata.
Well,
for
but
girls.
keep in mind, this isn't about who's the strongest. You're hiring them to be your bodyguard, not to go beat someone up, but to defend you. And so you got to keep in mind, this is, assuming it's even multiple days, you might have to keep that in mind as well, in case there's, like, sleeping shifts or whatever. You got to keep in mind, like, reconnaissance, sensory ability, the actual ability to defend you, the ability to fight off the threat. Like, there's a lot. Also, the teamwork.
I get
you
what
can't
you're
just
saying.
randomly choose, like, Gaara and Lee because they aren't having good teamwork. Well, at this point in the story, they might be, but that's you get the point.
Well, yeah, so that's what I was gonna say though. But I'm thinking about So obviously Tamari is very strong. She's shown that she can fight in taijutsu. Like she blocked one of Lee's kicks. Granted, it's weighted Lee, but weighted Lee is still strong. Hinata was the only other girl. I'm not bringing Sakura or Ino or Tenten on this mission. Like, get them out of my sights. Hinata's the only other contender. And as far as her sensory abilities go, I think Neji's going to work better. And quite frankly, a golden trio might actually just be Neji, Gaara, and Tamari. By this point, Gaara's become nice, so we don't have to worry about killing everyone. He's got a sand shield that he can just wrap around us if need be. Neji can use rotation in front of us if need be. He can see far away and in all directions with his Byakugan. And if they're at a distance, Gaara and Tamari can handle it. Shino was another good contender, as well as Shikamaru, but I might just have to go with this trio here.
So because I was thinking about this a lot, because you have to choose 2 guys and 1 girl. So how do you even start thinking about this? Well, you got to think about the strongest, but you got to go like intelligence and teamwork as well. Gaara, I think, is a pretty good pick, because I feel like he could just defend you with his mom's automatic defense.
If he stands next to the person, mom's just going to defend you by default.
Yeah. But okay, I was trying to think about in terms of like, okay, they're going to be the ones coming after us. We're not going after them. So keeping in mind both like strategy and defense, Neji, in my opinion, is better than Shikamaru, because whereas Shikamaru's smarter, he can like develop the strategy, because you would want to choose Shikamaru. That's like one of the first people I would think to go to, even if he's not the strongest. You have 3 people, waste one of them on Shikamaru to tell the other 2 that are stronger what to do, what the strategy of the plan is.
Yeah, but Neji can do I think that. Neji's, look at the filler arcs,
Neji's
bro.
smart enough. Exactly. So Neji, he might not be as smart as Shikamaru. I don't think you need him to be. You can just... There's a threshold minimum that I think Neji's just above in terms of intelligence required for this mission, to where he can
literally
do that role.
Neji became a Jonin before Shikamaru. Just keep that in mind. like Neji's plenty smart. So Neji was one of my first picks because he's got the brains, he's got the eyes to see at a distance, and behind him, and he's got like literally the best, one of the best, arguably the best defensive abilities at this time. Like it's literally, it's between him and Gaara for the best defense that we know of.
Yeah, definitely top 3 in defense.
Yeah. So, okay, keeping Neji in mind, Neji obviously has the Byakugan as well. So he's going to be able to, like, see the person, assuming he knows they're coming, which direction they're coming from, all that. And again, like you're saying, he's very good with defense as well. He's got the gentle fist, he's got rotation, etc.
He has good immobilization abilities, in particular, too. Like 64 pumps, he can
because he's got the Byakugan
without killing him.
Yeah. Since he has all that, he's just a better version of Hinata. You can just kick Hinata off the box. We're just not going to have her, even though she's one of the strongest girls in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Hinata could just be Neji Part 2, but I'm thinking Neji's just so good that if we just better just having Tamari for the ranged instead, the range abilities. Like, Tamari's also smart, too. Remember, she was battling Shikamaru. Like, she wasn't as smart as Shikamaru, but she's literally... Asuma points out she is a strategist too. Like she is smart.
Yeah. Because Neji's like the smart guy of the team, I don't think you necessarily need 2 other smart people, even though it wouldn't hurt. And even in terms of teamwork, it might be better. Honestly, I don't know who would be better with like a tag team duo dynamic between Neji and Tenten or Neji and Tamari, because Tamari is demonstrated as stronger. They both serve the same function of long range, and she's probably smarter as well, Tamari, but like Tenten is on Neji's team.
I think they'd have better teamwork as people with Neji and Tenten, but Tamari is just going to be so much more useful that it's either just going to work in tandem with Neji better, or even if it doesn't, the sum's still going to be better just because of how much stronger Tamari is. Like, if I was going to go for the teamwork thing, I'd actually say Hinata, because their abilities just are, of course they can work in a team. These are the same freaking thing. Like, so... But I think
I will mention Ino, even though you said Ino's weak. If she gets that mind transfer jutsu off, and again, that's an if, that's a risk. I don't know if we want to risk that. It should be good, except depending on how strong the threat. If it's like a Zabuza level threat, he could just shake it off like Obito
you
did.
said tuning the Jonin level. I don't think Ino's doing a very good job against that this time.
Okay. So it might work, but it's too risky to say it's going to work. Plus, if we don't have Shikamaru or someone else there to paralyze the person, I don't think it's going to be.
She's just going to miss most likely, unless she does the hair trick.
Yeah. But she already did that against Sakura, so she hasn't grown her hair back out. So she can't.
She's going to have to cut off more. Go bald.
Okay. And at this point, Sakura also hasn't developed healing either. So that's just not an option either. We just don't have a healing person, I'm pretty sure.
She's just close combat, but Hinata's better than Sakura at it at this point, so...
Okay. And Shoji would be funny for defense, but if we're already having Neji be the strategist and the defense guy, we kind of don't need a defense guy. Because I feel like Neji would be better playing defense if he's also the reconnaissance guy.
Yeah, but Gar is the exception here because Gar has a completely different type of defense and it's automated. So we don't need Neji's reconnaissance for Gar's defense. It'll just happen. So
exactly. Then you have, like you're saying, Shino. Shino's a really good pick. I was thinking between Shino and Konkuro, Shino has to be definitively the pick because in a fight, they're about equal, but Shino, outside of a fight, still has an easy leg up on Konkuro that he can just scout out the area with his bugs. Konkuro doesn't have that with his puppet.
He can scout, whereas Konkuro can't. So Konkuro can do good things for like offense, but Shino's going to be better for finding out where the enemy is if they're approaching. Granted, we already have Neji for this anyway, so like, do we really need Shino? No, but Shino's better than Konkuro in that regard. Also, he could probably just off-guard them to some degree if depending on what village they're from, if they don't know about the Aburame clan, they could just get a female beetle on them, and then Shino just swarms them later on.
That's the thing, though. They don't need to take them out. They just need to wait them out. So if Neji can use his Byakugan to go find them, and then, like, Shino can just attack from the distance before they're even, like, ready, you just paralyze them from the get. Like, this is what they did with Shisui. They poisoned Shisui and brought Shisui down to their level. Because, again, they're fighting someone who's likely to be stronger than them. So you don't need to defeat them. You just need to wait them out so that they're defeated through poison. So as long as Shino's bugs can do that, just have a good time thing going.
I mean, if I didn't have to pick the girl, I would debatably just put Shino in Tamari's place for this mission. Because obviously Tamari is a bad matchup for Shino. She'll just blow his bugs away. But, like, for this mission, Shino's probably just has a more useful ability, I would say. Because he can attack at range with his bugs, so...
You know,
Unless the enemy is an Aburame.
Shino... Shikamaru and Shino would be an interesting combo. I'm not saying it's best, but if you can poison them and then you get to hold them in Shadow Paralysis, you're just ticking that timer down without them able to really do anything. And you can't really chakra flex your way out of Shadow Paralysis as fast as you can something else. So I feel like that's a good option, as we see with Shikamaru and Hidan. Hidan's blatantly stronger than Shikamaru, and he's able to chakra flex his way out, but not in time. Or you can use Shadow Paralysis on him, and then it's like a free poisoning. You just get to do that.
That's what I was going to say.
Either way.
The other thing I was going to say is, imagine the strategist combo of Neji, Shikamaru, and Shino. I don't care who they got on their who that enemy is. I don't think you're gonna strategize that.
With that all being said, though, as smart as Neji is, and with the Byakugan, as good as defense as he is, I feel like at least in 2 of the categories, Gaara is as good, if not better. Like, he's got the nerve eye that he can see from a range with. He's got the automatic defense, and he's not dumb at this point in the story, in my opinion.
Well, he hasn't learned to count to 6 yet.
Okay, well, besides that. So I feel like Gaara would
Oodie,
have to
if
be
the
a
enemy
definitive
makes
pick.
6 shadow clones, we're in trouble.
So, okay, the thing with Lee, I feel like Lee is the exception because he's literally crippled to where we could just throw him in there with this Gaara fight form.
Oh, yeah. But even then, like, I still wouldn't pick Lee, though, because if Lee uses the gates, hypothetically, like, unless Lee uses the gates to defeat the opponent right then and there, it's pointless, because the moment he uses the gates, he's pretty much done for this mission. And so if he doesn't beat the opponent then, now they just lost Lee. And if Lee doesn't use the gates, even if he uses the first 2, Neji's just stronger, so Neji's just blatantly the better pick for this mission.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, Lee can go up to 5 gates, which seemingly is faster than even Sasuke in the final rounds of the tuning exams, which makes you almost want to pick him.
Weightless Lee.
Sasuke also has
Lee.
Sharingan.
Weightless Lee is already barely, ever so slightly, basically equal, 100 versus 99. But Weightless Lee is already barely faster than Sasuke. Never mind the gates.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So getting to Sasuke, he's obviously the prodigy genius of the Uchiha clan, top of his class, all this. He's very skilled. In fact, we see him take down Chunin level combatants already from the Land of Waves. And this is the end of the tuning set. He's a very strong pick as well. The problem is the fact that he's not really going to be motivated outside of general motivation to just be a ninja on a normal D-ranked mission or whatever this is. Probably like B-ranked.
I mean,
But
even
like,
then,
he's not going to have the hatred amp, and the curse mark is still a problem passively.
I didn't even think about those
Like,
things.
he's not going to do what he did against Gaara.
The things I was thinking about is, well, first of all, he's not going to do what he did against Gaara, because Gaara is a highly motivated fight for Sasuke, to test his strength, blah, blah, blah. But even beyond that, at the end of the day, Sasuke was never going to beat Gaara unless Gaara did what he did, sat in a ball to transform into Shukaku, giving Sasuke time to use Chidori and a free opening and all that jazz. If Gaara just attacks Sasuke with his stance so Sasuke never uses Chidori, Sasuke just doesn't beat Gaara. He just loses the same way Lee did. So, and not only that, I think Neji beat Sasuke. So I just think Neji's just a better person than Sasuke for this mission. Not only for the eyesight being his Byakugan's a better dojutsu for this mission. He's better at defense. It's a bodyguard mission. And I think Neji's just stronger than Sasuke anyway. So I feel like I'm picking Neji and Gaara over everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, the first time Sasuke does Chidori against Gaara, it takes him forever to charge it up, or that might just be anime time. But when
it's in the manga. He specifically says he needs time. He said good when he gets in the ball. I need time to charge this up anyway.
I know, but like the thing is, he talking about like charging up to like full charge, and every other time he's ever done it, it's like half charge or something. Like, he doesn't need time to charge it up in the next arc, which happens a minute later.
So that's where it's just like Kishimoto just dropped that. Or the alternative is just that the first time with Gaara, he just needed the ultimate maximum output Chidori since he had the opportunity to do it. Because he even runs up on the wall to gain speed, which he never does again. Honestly, never mind whether he needed the time or not. The fact that he had the time and the wall to run down for extra speed and the long distance, that just was the best Chidori Sasuke could ever hope for. So if he just didn't have all that, if he just had to do it real quick, like in the next arc, for all we know, he just wouldn't have pierced the sand. Because the speed of Chidori is essential to its power. So,
like, if Sasuke's Chidori is able to pierce the ultimate defense, it worries me that a Jonin or Chunin might be able to pierce Gaara's sand as well.
I don't think so, unless they just have, because, this one's up to interpretation of whether or not the lightning style actually has any effect of the earth that is Gaara's sand. But ignoring that, Chidori, that's an A-rank jutsu. Sasuke was good at it, even at the time, and he had the best scenario surrounding it to use that Chidori. It's the best version of Chidori he could have done.
Okay.
Freaking, random Jonin's kunai is not piercing the sand. Unless they've got a very good A-rank jutsu that's sharp and penetrating and all that jazz. Like, even the Rasengan, Naruto's Rasengan probably wouldn't break through that sand. He needs a piercing jutsu. So I don't think just any random A-rank jutsu is cutting it.
I feel like it does have to be a Jonin. It can't be a random, mysterious tuning level threat. It does have to be Jonin, because otherwise I feel like it's not that big of a deal. That said, to become Jonin, to be promoted that, I'm pretty sure you have to know A-rank jutsu. I feel like that's a requirement.
I don't know if that's true or not, but what I will say is we don't know what village these guys are from, which is fair to note before I say this. But I mean, 3-year-old Gaara was beating Jonin. One of the best Jonin in the village at the time, actually, Yashimaru. Like, so,
yeah.
You know, Gaara just is Jonin level. So, like, you know, if it's a Leaf Jonin, a little bit different. You know, Gaara's not beating Kakashi, Asuma, Guy, and all them. But if it's random Sound Jonin, random Sand Jonin, random Earth Stone Village Jonin, random Mist Jonin, I don't know. Is he beating Zabuza? No, but Zabuza is cream of the crop. So I think the average Jonin, this is tuning a Jonin level threat too.
That's like Kage level.
I feel like just
the way I think it has to be like a mid to high level Jonin. Like it doesn't have to be Zabuza, but like maybe the from like Anbu Kakashi, that kind of level.
Yeah, but this is where I gotta ask a question though. When you say tuning to Jonin, do you mean like low Jonin, high tuning, or do you just mean any Jonin, any tuning? So it could be a high. Could it be a Hidan, or are you looking for Unko level?
You know what? I feel like. Well, that's a little bit weird itself as well. Well, how about again? I think high level Jonin for the other villages, so people that aren't Konoha. So it's like high level Jonin is like a mid level Jonin for Konoha.
Okay,
how it would
so be. Is Hidan just to get some like reference points?
Guild.
Yeah, it's like would Hidan be too strong for this consideration as an example? Probably, but given that he's stronger
probably because Hidan's like high. Yeah, I would consider Asuma like high Jonin level for the Leaf. So that's like Kage level for other villages, basically.
Okay, so
it's like Zabuza level.
So we're thinking like, level. Okay, how about Baki? Is Baki like the top of the list, or is he like beyond the list, or is he right in the middle of the list, you think?
I feel like Baki's probably around the top of the list, yeah.
Because Baki is the strongest of the sand.
Baki's level.
But he's also like supposed to be strong. Yeah. Like he's beating Hayate was like a big deal, so.
Exactly. So maybe someone closer to like Hayate's level.
Okay.
Or even Genma.
Genma, Hayate, yeah. Okay. So just I think Genma might be a high Jonin. He's the Hokage bodyguard, so he's got to be pretty strong. He might not be.
Yeah, just someone who's able to like beat up like the Sound 5 or Sound 4.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, I think we can just go ahead and say that if they're not like at this level, it's the tuning threat. We don't need to worry. Gaara's soloing it. So,
okay.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, like, could Hayate beat Tamari, Neji, and Gaara together at this point? I don't think so.
No, bro. I mean, it feels like being able to speed blitz Neji pretty badly. All the Jonin, as well as Hayate himself, was able to speed blitz Neji, and Neji's supposed to be like third gate Lee speed.
That's
so like
that's so weird. Yeah, I feel like that's just where they were the story kind of screwed up with that shit, because like the fact that they did that means that like it was understandable. It's like, hey, these are Jonin, they should be way beyond. But then at the same time, it's like, but these Genin are also Jonin. Like, so, like just to put things in like reference point, like, you know, these Jonin that are speed blitzing, like unless Neji, I mean, let me ask you this real quick. Do you think Neji actually got way stronger in the retrieval arc? Or was the retrieval arc mostly, I'm sure he trained, got a little bit stronger, obviously, but was the retrieval arc mostly just Neji actually going all out instead of just dicking on Naruto and talking trash, actually trying? Or did Neji just get a lot stronger, do you think?
I think he got stronger.
But no, obviously he got stronger, but do you think he just got way stronger? Or do you think for the most part that was just him actually trying with a little bit of strongerness?
I'll say he got way stronger because I feel like I think it's obvious that like his physical energy training, his high discipline, his every day he trained and wrote in his journal, he admitted, that continued consistently, and he consistently got stronger through that method. And he's young, so like he got way stronger just based on the fact that it's not been a lot of time in the first place. So he got like maybe 30% stronger based on the amount of time that's passed, maybe a month or two since then. I don't know exactly the timeline, but I think his yin energy, his mental energy, was disrupted until Naruto cleared it, at which case he unlocked the potential of like half of his other level of strength.
I think it is both. I think he did just get stronger, better mindset after the Naruto fight, actually training as well. And then also I just think in the Naruto fight, most of the Naruto fight, he just isn't trying. So even in Hinata, it's like he's not trying, whereas Kidomaru he is. So I think it's all of it together. But
and that's not to say it's disrupted as in it's blocked 100%. But yeah, I think a better mindset is just the way to think about it. So he's just stronger based on that.
No, I forgot that you pointed asking that. Oh yeah, the point was just because Neji just is a high level in that arc. I mean, all right, so let's just use Hayate speed blitzing Neji here, just for the sake of propping Hayate up. So I guess that just means Baki probably just is able to speed blitz and like kill Gaara before the sand can get there in time. Then like Baki just is that strong.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think the problem is
Baki could have done that.
Yeah, considering like Lee is like speed blitzing Gaara, I'm pretty sure Hayate or Baki can. I don't think the problem is Gaara. The problem is Shukaku.
What about him?
Yeah, I'll take that as
yeah.
Well, if Gaara goes crazy and brings them out.
So what time of the month are we in here? Is the full moon coming up in this mission? Because there's a full moon's coming up.
You know what?
Actually, no, I will say another good thing about Gaara. You mentioned earlier the whole sleep shift schedule. Oh, we don't have to worry about that with Gaara. Bro's staying awake anyway. But
that's what I was gonna mention. Yeah.
But that being said, if the full moon is coming up during this mission, we cannot have Gaara on it because Shukaku's coming out.
Yeah,
too crazy. Thing is, if it's right after the tuning exams, then it should be after the full moon. So you should be clear for another like 20 days.
Okay, actually, good point. Okay, then we should be good. Okay, then yeah, I'm just gonna go with Neji, Gaara, and Tamari. I think the only one you could debate is if you want to throw Hinata in there, but I think just have Tamari for like some range in case you need. Maybe you need to clear a forest for a better view. Tamari's got you covered.
There's no reason to have Hinata if Neji's an option. Like, Hinata's strong, but...
Alright.
The only thing you would do there is if you're having two guys that aren't Neji, then you can have Hinata over Tamari just for her Byakugan.
But I'm thinking, like... I feel like... Are you guys pretty set on this team, too, at this point?
Yes, but I do want to specify, I feel like nature elementals do work against sand, considering it's not just lightning style that happened to pierce it. In the work, we blatantly see water style just make sand useless.
Good point. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, so I think that basically is proof that lightning style would be extra effective on sand then. Like if they're doing the water style effect.
And that's two of the elementals. Like I'm wondering, like, could the other elementals have an effect? Like, is it possible wind elemental can cut the sand defense? Would fire elemental make the sand defense brittle?
Yeah, so I don't know what fire would do, just because I don't really know what fire does with sand, so I'm not going to speak on that.
It might ironically harden it.
Yes, I'm not sure what fire would do. As for wind, I think the biggest, most obvious one would be just blowing it away. Like, so like the sand would just unmagnetize. Oh, yeah, great, that's the key word there. Magnet styles will hold it together. So the question is really the strength of the magnet style to hold it together versus the wind that tries to blow it apart. That one's just going to come down to the strength of the two, I think, but it could disrupt it if the wind's strong enough, I think. Or potentially, depending on the wind jutsu, Asuma using wind style with his hand knife things, and he throws it to cut through things. Asuma could probably cut through Gaara's sand with that wind style attack. So, because that's a piercing jutsu basically. So any wind style jutsu like that would probably be. It wouldn't have the same effect as the lightning style, I think, as far as the earthiness, but maybe the combination of the piercing ability plus the wind blowing it apart aspect might be extra effective. Now, this honestly makes the sand almost look bad against elements, but kind of is. Earth would be the most
worries me though.
The Earth would be the worst,
because I feel like
I think.
Yeah, well, at this point, I think the Jonin would have the stronger Earth style compared to Gaara's Earth style sand, anyways.
No, but what's it gonna do? It's not gonna pierce it. It's gonna like punch out. Like, I feel like Earth's just the most used, unless it's like an Earth style spike, maybe.
But at the very least, I feel like Gaara's sand as defense, if it's your only defense, you're banking on the fact that the Jonin just can't do anything. And if they have 2 of the 5 nature elements, considering they're like Jonin, they probably have an A rank jutsu. They also, I think this is something Kakashi says, you have to have, I think, 2 nature elementals.
No, we went over this. You don't have to. We went over this on stream. At least I could not find in the manga. I looked for like 20 minutes with free games there, I remember. So you'll have to find that.
Was that this, or was that...
It's for what you're about to say.
The strength and weakness thing?
No,
I think this is a different conversation, though.
Well, the strength and weakness thing, yeah, we already went over that. As far as the 2 thing, I think...
Yeah, with Kuro.
Kakashi either said most Jonin have to, or he just said once you start learning it, it gets harder. Or maybe he said most Jonin have to. I don't remember anymore. You're right. It was the strength and weakness thing was the thing I looked for.
The point is, if most Jonin have to, then because considering you don't know who your opponent is, more likely than not, they have 2. They're almost guaranteed to have 1. Assuming I'm just wrong, they just guaranteed don't have to. So
no, even if they're not guaranteed, most of them do have maybe 1 or 2. Like that is pretty much guaranteed. So I think the thing to play into question though is 1, Neji has rotation 2.
The stand actually work.
So we do have 2 layers of defense in that sense. But second, hypothetically, let's say somebody's used lightning style Thunderbolt. They got Pikachu with them. Technically, Tamari could use her wind style to counteract that. And the combination of Tamari with wind plus Neji's rotation plus Gaara's sand can probably beat the lightning style at the very least.
Okay.
Probably.
Water style, they gotta know. Gaara's gotta be upfront about his weaknesses so Neji can block it with rotation or Tamari with her fan.
Yeah. At this point in time, I feel like Gaara would be willing to tell the others, considering he's like chilled out. It's kind of crazy how 180 shift he goes immediately.
Also, and the other thing to consider is we don't know when, like, exactly how long it took Gaara to learn this stuff, but hypothetically, if he did this over the weekend, I mean, if bro is whipping out Sand Tsunami, I think we're okay. That Gaara's Kage level.
Yeah.
No.
With all this in mind, Shawn,
who
would you pick?
My 3, I'll probably go Sakura, Neji. No. Sakura, Gaara, and Naruto.
Okay. Naruto's interesting because he is really unreliable and inconsistent, but he does have the 9 tails. So he has low lows of his fast, but he also has the highest highs. So I feel like Naruto is the good, like, ace in the hole. Like, if all else comes to worst, Naruto's the guy that can bail you out. Assuming it gets to that point, and the worst can come to the worst, and it's assuming the guy doesn't just speed blitz and kill you immediately.
Exactly. It's also assuming you don't have a ninja like Zabuza, who Naruto just will never be able to do that stuff against because he does the one hit kill to the neck. Like,
yeah.
What I was gonna say though
is interesting. I'm curious why you say Sakura.
Yeah.
She is a Genjutsu specialist, so I feel like that would be important as well. She could release
to break the Genjutsu.
I don't think she's learned that yet, but
I feel like Neji could just if Shikamaru and Shino can, I feel like Neji can too.
Okay.
But why'd you pick Sakura?
But why do you say Sakura in particular?
I think because she's a good shinobi and she has one of the best like healing shinobis, the best healers. So I think that'd be pretty useful, like as a bodyguard. It creates balance on the team. It creates balance, all around balance on the team.
That's actually a really interesting point, considering they have all these formations, like the Manji formation. Sakura very clearly knows her book smarts and stuff, so I feel like you could even throw... Okay, how about this? You could throw Sakura in there as the intelligence person. So regardless of Shikamaru or Neji, you throw Sakura in there. And she's not only defense, and like pretty reliable defense, you just have to overpower her or like get past her. But like I feel like a nature elemental isn't just gonna like be weak against Sakura randomly. Like it doesn't make sense. And then that also saves a spot for two stronger people that just don't have to focus on defense or intelligence and can just attack the Jonin. I feel like that is actually a really interesting idea as well.
Now I had a follow-up for this. Now we have more characters to add because Shawn picked them. I was gonna say, now let's say we can't pick anyone we picked so far. So no Gaara, Neji, Temari, Sakura, or Naruto. Now who are you picking? So my girl is gonna be.
This goes in line with the
Hinata.
second idea of this. So we can move on to the second idea of this, since that's basically what this is. So, well, I guess we can do Kamui's first. Okay, Kamui, you give yours first.
Okay, so Hinata's the girl then. In this case, so now I think Shino's definitely got to be in there. So Hinata and Shino. So I had some interesting ideas. One would be Kiba, one that knows, but also that's really just a fourth person. You get a fourth person for free, Akamaru.
That's right.
He's also strong, but I might have to say maybe Sasuke in this case as well, or Shikamaru.
Yeah, I feel like Kiba's the best at just being on the offensive constantly. Yeah. He's got good stamina. He's not necessarily skilled, but he's so fast that he doesn't necessarily need skill like Sasuke does.
Yeah, like and Kiba is like I don't understand. He is really fast. Like he wasn't as fast as Lee, but he was like it was very clearly portrayed that Kiba was very fast. He was definitely faster than prelim Sasuke. I'll die on that hill.
And honestly, if you're throwing Akamaru in there, if you can have Kiba constantly on the offense against the opponent, regardless if Kiba's the one taking them out or not, Kiba, I feel like, might be the best distraction of all of the 12.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking with that is you could have Kiba and Akamaru just both the tag team distracting while Hinata plays defense.
I think
Shino stands like he's playing defense, but what he's really doing is getting the bugs to get them while they're distracted.
Okay, that's not where I was going with this. Okay, you're going to love this. I'm going to throw in there, if we're giving this team Hinata for that, and then you also got Kiba. Well, first of all, you got that teamwork dynamic between Hinata and Kiba, so like Hinata can direct Kiba.
And Shino.
But you can also have Hinata. Well, I wasn't gonna say Shino. I'm gonna replace Shino. The person I'm gonna choose. This is way better of an option because Shino's gonna just poison him, and that's gonna take time. I was gonna throw in Konkoro.
I was gonna say Konkoro too.
Konkoro with his puppet. Yeah, Konkoro, not only Hinata can tell Konkoro when to launch his puppet in, but I feel like Konkoro could just do that on his own as well, just know the timing. But specifically because he's going to be so distracted with Akamaru and Kiba, the puppet's going to be his greatest threat. That's like a one-shot kill if he gets caught.
He can also, I guess, Kiba and Akamaru have to hold their breath, but if he did this poison smoke, he might not want to use that one. But another thing to question, though, is, again, like Gaara, when does Konkoro get the Black Ant puppet and his massive power amp, just like Gaara, where he just becomes Johnny level? Because if he got it over the weekend, Bro's got Black Ant too now. Bros, we don't know when they got these.
Kankuro and Shino kind of are basically just Jonin level in the junior exam.
Well, I was going to say,
quite that high.
Kankuro and Shino might also just, instead of Kiba, we could also potentially do Kankuro as the distraction with his puppets, while Shino's trying to get him with the bugs too, is another option. And they honestly might make the funniest tag team that just might work. Like, I don't know. Because
at that point,
is
you're
pretty
not
smart.
risking any of the Shinobi either. Like, none of them are actively in combat getting hurt.
Exactly.
That said, that's not like your mission. That would just be like a cool thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
As far as you care, all three of them can die. The point is that you're defended and the opponent dies.
Yeah. But still, but it does allow them to like attack from a long distance, which can be helpful so they can constantly stay away.
Well, with Kiba, if you have the puppet also helping out from a long distance, Kiba at close distance is more defended because the puppets there defending are distracting as well. Yeah.
Shikamaru could also work in the sense with the catching up with shadow possession when they're distracted thing as well.
Okay, that's the way to get them with shadow paralysis, because without that, I feel like they could just dodge shadow paralysis.
Yeah, but with Kiba Nakamaru constantly fang over fanging them, and then like they're dodging that, and then Shikamaru catches them off guard.
That's good. Another funny way to think about it is Shino with the bugs could distract get Shikamaru, or Choji is so fat that he just like
this giant shadow.
Shikamaru like hides the shadow paralysis under Choji.
I was thinking Choji takes the yellow pill, becomes huge, has a giant shadow, insta kill.
Okay, we cannot give Choji the yellow pill, otherwise Choji's soloing. You don't even need the other two.
You don't need the rest of the team. I think it's tricky I feel like between those three, though.
Yeah, the Kiba Kankuro thing, I feel like would be similar to the Naruto Delta fight, to where Naruto is redirecting Delta away from the children through his fighting.
Yeah.
Kiba could just do that, and then Kankuro is the children, but the children in this case is just OP. Have a one-shot kill on Delta.
Yeah, I think it's tricky between Kankuro, Shino, Shikamaru. I'm liking the Kiba and Hinata aspect, though. Sasuke is a good pick as well, but I think Kiba's a way better distraction for this. He's not as fast as Sasuke, but like with two people being really fast, I think that kind of makes up for it in this regard.
Exactly, because it's splitting their attention.
Exactly, so which would be more effective for this Kankuro, Shino, Shikamaru strategy. I feel like that's the wild card here, is which of those three to pick as your I gotcha character.
The thing is, if you, with Shikamaru, if you can get in the position to where you can have the shadow paralysis work, I feel like that's an instant game over, because no matter who you have as the second person, if it's Hinata or Neji, that's 64 palms, that takes him out. If it's Shino, poison him. If it's Sasuke, Chidori, that's insta-kill. If it's Kankuro, easy puppet. It's like, maybe Kiba's fang over fang wouldn't kill them, considering like it hit Naruto verbatim multiple times, and Naruto wasn't fine, but like he got back up.
Yeah, that's
like,
not
I feel like or Kiba might be the only person who doesn't work with the shadow paralysis.
Yeah,
I feel like even Joji's human boulder jutsu might just kill him.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but yeah, I think Kiba's not good in that regard. That's a good point. But with Hinata, she can always just actually Hinata doesn't know 64 palms. But she could do Gentle Fist to the heart, I guess.
She does, yeah. Gentle Fist doesn't need 64 palms.
Yeah. But you do have a point that but Kiba's a much better distraction than I think Shino or Kankuro for Shikamaru to catch your shadow possession is the problem.
Yeah.
You might have to go for not Shikamaru then, and just have to go for the Shino or Kankuro kill if you're using Kiba as your distraction.
Interesting. Okay. That being said, I did want to move on to the second part of this. We are going to take our own knowledge of the series out of this hypothetical. And we are going to be choosing our own team based on the knowledge we would have as a citizen in universe. So one of the people that were in the audience, attending in the stands to watch the final rounds of the tuning exams.
Yeah.
So this
Nobody's
means
picking
automatically even. Yeah. So hold on. Automatically, this narrows down our list because even though you could choose them, you would never choose someone who you just didn't see fight. So someone that was disqualified in the prelims. I'm not even thinking about that. Someone disqualified in the prelims. They're just not going to be included. So Lee, we just don't even know what he fights like. Same with Hinata. Same with Sakura.
And if you know he's crippled.
Anyone else. Yeah, even like Kiba. Like, they're just not going to be an option.
Yeah.
So we're just not going to have them in this.
And
so,
Shino and Kankuro don't fight in the exams, so they're not options either. So we're left with 6 people. Neji, Naruto,
that said,
Gaara, Sasuke, Temari, Shikamaru.
With this said, you have to keep in mind, you're a citizen in this fight, with this watching of this thing. Kakashi needed his Sharingan to track Lee's speed. You as a citizen are not going to be able to follow the physical movement of most of these fights, so you're going to have to rely on these slower things to actually see what's happening.
To be fair, Kakashi only needed the Sharingan for like 4th and 5th Gately, so I don't think you need the Sharingan to see Sasuke necessarily.
But still, that's a Jonin. You are a citizen.
Why do they like this fight then? Like, what are they able to like? Do they even see the fight? They see Neji talking to Naruto. That's it.
Literally, bro. It's so funny. Okay. With that in mind, that completely shapes the way we're watching this. So I feel like Shikamaru Shadow Possession, we'd be able to see that. I feel like that could be interesting. We'd probably go with Shikamaru in this case. I don't know if we would go with Naruto or Neji.
That's the tricky one.
We'd probably go with Neji.
I think they would go with Neji because they all know Neji's strong from his Hype Hyuga stuff. And from what they saw, at least, they may not fully understand it, but it seems like Neji was just caught off guard by a trick, especially if they could hear the conversation. They know that Neji was being careless. So with that context in mind, they might just think, oh, Neji was actually stronger.
Yeah.
I think because we're removing internal monologues and music and tension of the show, and we're just removing the knowledge of Shikamaru's plan. Everyone hated Shikamaru going into the fight, and then they hated him coming out of the fight. No one would choose Shikamaru.
They loved him in the middle of the fight, but then they hated him when he quit.
Well, no,
but that being said, they'll think he's a quitter.
Because he's just sitting there. They don't understand why he's just sitting there. They don't know they're waiting for the sun to set so the shadows are longer. They don't even know the shadow is like his move, really.
The way I was looking at it, though, is when they all start cheering when Shikamaru catches Temari. So they understand that, like, Shikamaru got her. But the problem is Shikamaru quit, so they're probably going to think, oh, this guy's a quitter. So would they really want to pick a quitter for their mission? Probably not.
Exactly.
But they're not going to pick Temari either.
In reality, he ran out of chakra, but they don't know that.
Yeah, and
but even if they did know that, they still might not pick him based on that.
Yeah, he did say he ran out of chakra, but again, they might not pick him. I don't think they would pick Temari either because she kind of lost to the quitter. She only won because he quit. So
yeah. So I have a funny one for you, which completely goes against something you were saying. I feel like people would universally choose Shino because he was so scary. The Sand Elite person didn't even want to fight him.
Oh.
He was that scared of Shino and Shino's raw power.
That unironically could work. Nobody's picking Kankuro, given that, but that could work.
It's so stupid.
What would they think about Gaara? So I'm thinking they would think Sasuke is strong because he was kind of... They're not looking at the context of Shukaku, what Gaara was doing, and why Sasuke got the Chidori. The average citizen just thinks Sasuke was stronger, so they're going to pick Sasuke over Gaara. But what would they think of Gaara versus, like, Naruto, for example? Would they think Gaara was stronger, or would they think Naruto was stronger?
I think they don't think Gaara is stronger.
I think they would choose Gaara, yeah.
So, okay. So in that case, okay, so I think... Do you think they... Okay, so we said Gaara over Naruto, Neji over Naruto, Sasuke's over Gaara. Sasuke's gonna be over Naruto in this case. I think we could rule out Naruto then. What about Gaara
they would see
versus
Naruto
Neji?
do the shadow clones. Keeping in mind Naruto can do the shadow clones, it might not matter if Naruto's strong or fast in their eyes. It's like 100 bodies that are there to defend you. Because he did that against Neji.
That's true.
And keep in mind, with the citizens' knowledge, they wouldn't know the Naruto versus Gaara fight anyways.
Yeah, they don't know that.
Plus, they literally fell asleep in the middle of the Sasuke fight. They don't even know how that fight ended. The last thing they saw was Gaara go into his ball, and they don't even know why.
Let me see exactly where that leaves off, because I completely forgot about that. And as loud as Gaara yelled, I don't think anyone woke up from that. Okay. Let's see when this happens here.
They were definitely in the ball, though. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Falling asleep. So yeah, he's in the ball. They're falling asleep mid Chidori. That's hilarious.
Well, hold on. He hasn't done the full Genjutsu though yet. He only put one guy asleep. Yeah. So if we're that guy, they're asleep. Yeah. But let's see what they get before they fall asleep.
Okay, so they saw Shukaku's arm.
Okay.
Are they still awake there?
Okay,
that's when
they
start
see
falling asleep when Gaara comes out.
But they see Gaara, but they don't. Okay, they see Gaara hurt. But they don't see the outcome of the fight to necessarily know who wins.
Yeah.
That's tricky. I feel like they have to pick
Sasuke based on that, though.
Yeah, I think they would have to pick Sasuke between them. But let's say Gaara versus Neji. What is the average citizen thinking there? Because in all honesty, I think Neji looked stronger to their eyes. Because what do they see this whole fight? Neji is just dodging and blocking everything. Like, Neji doesn't get a scratch on him until he's caught off guard. And then Gaara, on the other hand, they don't understand what's going on. But what they see is Sasuke ragdolling Gaara. So, like, would they even think Gaara's that strong? Besides what they know about...
I have a really funny thing that downplays Neji in their eye. So, assuming the normal citizen doesn't know Naruto is using the Nine Tails, I think the normal citizen knows Naruto has the Nine Tails, not just like the ninja citizens. I think it's the normal citizens as well. Everyone knows Naruto has the Nine Tails. I don't think they could see the Nine Tails chakra. I could be wrong on that.
They don't think they would know it's, oh my god, what's this overwhelming power? But they don't necessarily know it is the Nine Tails.
So the funny thing is, they saw Neji do the 64 palms to block off his chakra points. Seeing Naruto use chakra after that, they would think Neji missed. Neji just has bad aim.
But they could tell that it affected Naruto, so they might just think Naruto is just like that good, I think, is what they would think there.
Not necessarily, because it would affect Naruto regardless if he's hitting the chakra points or not. Because again, the chakra points are basically just like, not solar plexus. What is it? The like points in real
pressure
life?
Points.
Solar pressure points. Yeah. Like whatever. If you're hitting a pressure point, it's gonna hurt. But if you're hitting next to a pressure point, it's still gonna hurt. In this case, Naruto would just be hurt, but also able to use chakra if Neji just missed.
Yeah, but he wasn't able. It's tricky though, because Naruto was struggling to use chakra. So I feel like it's clear that to them that like it was working, just something went wrong.
Well, to be fair, Naruto also like is bad at using chakra and charges it up anyways.
Not with the shadow clone jutsu that he immediately spammed without doing that. So like,
it's inconsistent. That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's where it's tricky. So. Man, between these people, I don't know, and then we haven't even begun to discuss what are they actually going to think about the Shino. Like, are they just going to go with them because Kankuro forfeited, or are they just going to say we don't know what to expect from them, so we don't bother? Like,
well, I think they know the sand. All three of the trio are promising, right?
I don't know if they
were mad that they didn't get to see that fight. Is it because of the fight itself, or because they knew it was going to be a good fight?
To be honest, I think part of it is just, it might just be them wanting to see a fight. They're just expecting every fight to be good because I know Tamari's another one of the Sand Trio. They're getting mad at Shikamaru, but I think to some extent they just wanted to see fights. So they're just mad. I don't know if it necessarily was the Sand Trio in particular that bothered them. Because some of them, obviously, the guys doing the bet, and one of them bets for Gaara, one bets for Sasuke. Like, some of them kind of have an understanding. Maybe, Gaara seems like he's strong. But the average citizen might just not know anything. They're just like, they're exam participants. They must be pretty good. Like,
that said, well, this is assuming that we're a Konoha citizen. The Aburame clan might not be as elite as the Hyuga, obviously, but the Aburame have been there since day one, and they're pretty, like, not recognizable clan, but what's the word? They have, like, a lot of recognition.
Good reputation. They have a reputation. I don't know.
Reputation, yeah, respect. I don't know, all of it. All of it together.
I think, that would make a Konoha ninja think, like, Shino's pretty strong. But would it make him think that he's stronger than Gaara or Neji or Naruto? I feel like they're going to think Neji over Shino by default if it's a Konoha Shinobi. Given Naruto's performance against Neji, I think they're just going to default Naruto over Shino too. They're going to think Uchiha over the Aburame, let's be real. So then, I think they're going to pick Gaara.
Yeah, but the thing is, does the average citizen know Gaara's the strongest sand of the trio? Or are the Sand Trio just promising?
I don't think they know anything about the
Sand
Sand Trio.
Considering all three. Well, they know all three of the Sand Trio made it to the final round of the tuning exam. Not every Konoha citizen.
What they might know is that that Sand team was the the only full team that made it to the final round. That's actually wild. Actually, they're the only team to make it to the final rounds as a complete team.
Yeah,
that's a fun fact.
If that's the case, they just might think all three of them are around the same level of power. Some people might think Kankuro's stronger just based on this fact alone.
Or, like, his age. Like, they might think, he's probably the strongest. Like,
considering his age, that's a good point.
Huh. I mean, honestly, there might be...
I don't know.
But if they don't know what to think about them, they might just think Naruto, Sasuke, Neji. Like, if they're Konoha Shinobi, they're gonna have the Hyuga Uchiha bias.
The girl aspect of this, you have to have one. Yeah, especially considering there's only one girl to choose from. If we have to choose a girl, that's not fun. So I'm just gonna remove the girl aspect from this. You can still choose Tamari if you want, but
I don't think they're picking Shikamaru or Tamari because they're mad at Shikamaru for being quitter, and Tamari was losing to that quitter. So I think they're out of the run.
But even then, Shikamaru's just sitting there. Tamari's also just sitting there.
Running around.
I can imagine that
shadows.
Being a frustrating fight to watch.
It's like, why is she doing that?
Yeah. Naruto, I think, probably was the most flashy of all of the actual, like, fights or whatever. But they were most anticipating Sasuke.
Yeah.
But if we're taking bias out of it.
I mean, honestly, I think Naruto and Neji may have given them the... Well, actually, I think Shikamaru Tamari gave them the best fight. Granted, at the same time, that's tricky. Who do you think was the most enjoyable fight for them to watch? Naruto and... because Naruto's fight with Neji has a lot of shadow clones and stuff, but it also has a lot of talking and, stuff they don't care about the Hyuga. So, it starts off really cool, then it slows down, then it gets really cool at the end. Shikamaru versus Tamari... Shikamaru is just kind of standing there, but assuming they can understand the shadow stuff, they just see Shikamaru doing a bunch of wacky stuff, Tamari dodging, and then Shikamaru catches him. It's the plot twist of the century, and then Shikamaru gives up. That's probably not their favorite pick because of that, but ignoring the ending, they might be like, wow, that was such a cool turnaround. But Naruto beating Neji was also a big plot twist. Sasuke's fight... It's not even that long, bro. Sasuke's just running around a little bit. Yeah, and then Gaara goes in a ball. Chidori falls asleep. Who do you think was their most entertaining fight?
Keep in mind,
I think Naruto's fight, honestly.
Definitely Naruto and Neji's.
Yeah.
Because they're not there to watch a chess match. Okay, they're basically there. They're wrestling fans. They're there for the fight. Okay, and they're also not there for acrobatics. So they're not there for Sasuke's nonsense either.
I think they thought that was
Naruto
cool, but I think
and Neji actually fought.
Yeah, I think that one they would have had to pick because like it starts off, the clones and Neji being badass, and then it finishes with the Naruto and the Kyuubi cloak versus Neji, and it ends on a high note.
Yeah. Like, when have you ever watched an MMA fight to watch someone win via intelligence? Oh, they tricked their opponent using strategy. Nah, bro, you're watching them for the freaking flying fists.
That's funny. The strategy. Yeah, that's why I watched the MMA fight today. What did you think about the MMA strategy that guy used?
God. Wow. Okay. With that said, I think my 3, I'm going to choose Shino just because I think that's the funniest option.
Yeah.
So my option is going to be Shino. I'm going to go with Naruto not because he was stronger than Neji, but because he had the shadow clones and the fact that Neji seemed weak against them, as funny as that is. And the third option, I would go with Sasuke based on it felt like the audience seemed like he lived up to the hype that was anticipated for him. And also, just like if you want to go to chat, I saw someone saying, you want to go to chat if you're downstairs?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
What?
We're going to go to chat, yeah.
End
Without only was saying, I think you scroll up too far. I think even accounting for, okay, go down.
Wait.
You were already there. Okay. Why are you chat? Yeah, I don't know where it is. I think even accounting for the invisible super speed, if I saw Sasuke, the Uchiha clan favorite ticket seller, with the cool entrance, teleport one-shot Gaara, I'd want him as my bodyguard. That's the perfect way to put that, bro. Absolutely. Like, Ima, this isn't just the fight itself. This is the entrance. Like, you're there for the whole show. So, like, maybe I wouldn't choose Naruto because Naruto came in being bucked in the butt by a bull. Embarrassing, bro. And he was late. Well, Sasuke was also late, but Sasuke was cool.
Yeah.
Naruto just landed flat on his face.
Shikamaru was so cool. Shino was so cool. He made Kankuro forfeit.
That being said, Shawn, I've presented 2 debates now. I was hoping, well, you've presented 1 debate through One Piece. I was hoping you could present a debate now, preferably Naruto, possibly, hopefully.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Who do you think will win the fight? Hashirama or Naruto? Prime for prime.
Prime for oh, Naruto. That's not even a question. That's universally accepted, honestly.
Wait, who? What was the 2?
The people. Huh?
Naruto versus Hashirama at their primes.
Oh, okay.
Because people say because Hashirama is known as the god Shinobi, and people say he's still still be stronger than and had he had like last longer. He has better stamina than Naruto and everything. So he can fight for days too.
Okay.
He can fight for
But
days.
Shawn, every generation is stronger than the last. Naruto is 4 or 5 generations older than Hashirama.
Newer, you mean?
Whatever.
But if you take that,
Therefore,
if you let the
Naruto is 5 times stronger than Hashirama as an academy student.
Academy student?
Oh yeah, he's like 5 generations younger than him. We want to say it that way.
Nah, I don't think. I think Naruto officially became stronger than Hashirama When like I think the pain arc. I think the pain arc is when he like officially became stronger than Hashirama. The pain arc. That's what I think. Cause with this, when he got
Okay.
Sage mode, he learned new techniques. That's what I think. That was the time.
What about in the Boruto era? Do you think adult Naruto beats Hashirama?
So that the Naruto and Boruto, he near his prime, but he not really in his prime. And right now he don't have
Yeah.
Kurama. It all depends if you say if you have Kurama in him or not. That he lost it.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm
it
gonna
all
say
depends.
no. I'm gonna say current Naruto. He's unsealed from the realm. Assuming you even know that
Mm-hmm.
he's just without Kurama, as you know. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think Naruto without Kurama beats Prime Hashirama? Adult Naruto.
Ah, yes. See, that's a big nerf too. But he still got Sage mode. So I gotta go Naruto, man. I gotta go Naruto, man. I gotta go Naruto. I
All
go
right,
Naruto.
I agree.
I go
Yeah.
Naruto.
My easiest thing to point to would be the father-son Rasengan that he does in the Boruto movie.
Yeah.
It just it just destroys the god tree. And he's doing that without Kurama's power.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually wild that
And
he
so
did
if
that
it's
shit.
destroying the god tree, I know, bro. If he's destroying the god tree, he's destroying any golem or thousand-hand Buddha nonsense statue that Hashirama's making. It's just being even worse than that god tree, bro. It's being destroyed.
Wait,
Shawn, what's been your favorite topic so far tonight? Has this been what you've expected, or has this been far worse than expected?
Wow, it did pretty good. It did pretty good. It's my
Okay,
first
cool,
time
cool.
I'd be on a podcast platform.
I'm glad this hasn't been as much of a train wreck as I thought it's been. That's good to hear. I am curious. How did you find us, and which podcast did you find us on, and like how long have you watched of us? I guess. Oh,
I recently just found you guys talking about
Mhm.
anime. Like it was on like my For You page, like on YouTube. So I watch like a lot of like anime videos and stuff, like anime
Yeah.
debates. Yeah, so I saw you guys and I watched the video. I was interested, and I started watching you guys. Like I recently just found you guys. All right, do you think the nerfing of Naruto and Sasuke was like reasonable, like for the storyline?
Do you think they were nerfed?
No, like do you think the nerfing of Naruto and Sasuke was like reasonable for the storyline? Like,
are you
Well, my
referring to
first
like in the
question to
code arc?
you.
yeah, so you know how like Naruto he lost Kurama and Sasuke lost his Rinnegan.
Well, do you think that's a nerf?
No, like do you think it's reasonable, like for the storyline?
I
I
feel like
see
he's
what
not
Oodie's
understanding my question.
going
Okay, okay,
for.
I'll answer your question. Yes, I do think it's reasonable. Do you
Mhm.
think it's reasonable? Because if you disagree, I feel like that's where we have a conversation. But well, we could defend why it's reasonable. But
I
curious what
think
your answer is before we do that.
I think for Naruto, yeah, but not Sasuke. Because for
Okay, why do you say
Sasuke,
that?
for Sasuke, he already had lost an arm, and he not like Naruto. Doctor Naruto, he got his other arm back with the Hashirama cells, and Sasuke, he already got to fight like strong shinobi and strong enemies with one arm, and like he take away like a big portion of his power too. Like he took his arm, and I take away his Rinnegan. Like it's like too much nerfing, like too much nerfing for Sasuke. That's what I think.
That's interesting. I would disagree with that because typically throughout the Naruto franchise, considering the rivalry between Naruto and Sasuke in terms of the greater ninja, stronger ninja, whenever one of them becomes stronger, the other one has like a reaction to quickly become stronger to surpass the other once again. So it's like a constant flip-flop between who's stronger throughout the series. And so that's also being displayed in the nerfs in current time. And so because Naruto was just nerfed, you want to nerf Sasuke at the same time because their power always tries to stay relative to one another in terms of increases and decreases.
Oh, kind of like Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah, so whenever Naruto gets stronger, Sasuke gets stronger. Whenever Naruto gets weaker, Sasuke gets weaker. In fact, I would say this definitely should be the case because even with your example, well, Naruto would have started with more things making him stronger, that being the Nine Tails. Sasuke starting with like his Uchiha-ness, I guess, but then Naruto starting with Uzumaki-ness, so that would counter that out. But like Sasuke doesn't start with the Sharingan or anything. Sasuke starts with his skills. And so with Sasuke's skills, he's arguably as strong or stronger, typically throughout the beginning of the series, than Naruto is, despite Naruto having the Nine Tails.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah. And so then going into Boruto, Sasuke doesn't have an arm, but going into Naruto the Last, it seems as if Sasuke is stronger than Naruto. There's a data book saying that Kakashi's strongest student in the last would be Sasuke, implying that Sasuke had surpassed Naruto by that point of time. Despite only having one arm, whereas Naruto has this Hashirama arm. Which, by the way, I don't think the Hashirama arm is actually making Naruto significantly stronger or anything. And the fact that Sasuke can do one-armed hand signs, Sasuke's realistically not getting much stronger at all from having two arms. Like, he's just used to having one. Plus the fact that he uses a sword. Like, he usually only uses one arm for his sword anyways.
Well, it can make it easier for him, like, to fight, like, to make it, like, easier. Instead of, like, using one arm. It can make it easier for him.
No, I get that. Fighting someone like Ishiki, he would have another arm to block with. But, like, realistically, he's so skilled that practically anyone he fights, it's not making a difference whether he has one arm or two. Because he can do practically the same thing with one arm as he can do. The loss of power is trivial. It's still a loss. So gaining it would be a benefit, but it's not going to be the craziest plus in the world. Going into the Boruto era, especially like the Momoshiki fight, it seems as if Naruto and Sasuke are around evil level again. You can argue Sasuke stronger, you can argue Naruto stronger, but they're about relative again because they're fighting pretty much as equals to their teamwork is so perfect. They're fighting as one shinobi itself is how it's described. That said, going into the Jigen fight, I think Jigen makes it pretty clear that Naruto is stronger than Sasuke, but Sasuke is more dangerous than Naruto, which is why Jigen's going to target Sasuke first. So I think at that point, Naruto had surpassed Sasuke. But again, just like in part 1, like Academy level Naruto should be stronger than Sasuke, but Sasuke's more dangerous than Naruto even back then.
Well, in Mizuki fight, Naruto is probably more dangerous, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, we're not going to count that as Naruto at that point.
It's Naruto.
Plot contrived, mental amped Naruto. Not Naruto.
Who do you think is like the best swordsman in like all of like Naruto history, like Naruto and Boruto? Like who's the
Killer
best
bee. I bet your ass Sasuke's not doing that 8 sword technique.
I mean that was young like King Sasuke. Like prime Sasuke, he's a pretty good swordsman.
See, the problem though
I mean, that
is...
depends what you consider skill. Because how effective was it? It looked cool.
It was effective. It just straight up worked. The problem is that, for one, it doesn't. I'm just gonna guess this because B never does it. I don't think B is able to do that in version 2 for whatever reason. Maybe the chakra cloak's too slippery. I don't know. Something he just can't do outside of his base form. And the problem is, base B, while he's pretty strong, he's obviously not like Ishiki tier strong. But if you give Ishiki that sword technique, God, bro, I don't know who's stopping him.
So you say Killer Beast is the best. So you say he's a better swordsman than Zabuza?
I mean, yeah, Zabuza's just better at other things that would make him seem like. See, the problem is that it depends on what you're talking about by good swordsmanship. So, like, Mifune can slice really well, but like there's different types of like swordsmanship skills. So like it's kind of a hard question, but I feel like B just like is good at everything. The goofiest way. Because B can like infuse lightning style to make it sharper, and he can do this like wacky technique.
Yeah.
Let's go with equal stats to make this more interesting, so neither one's stronger or faster than the other. Between Zabuza and B in a sword fight. So they're fighting, not using skill to show off, but fighting. Who do you think wins between Zabuza and B?
You gotta go with.
I still think B because of the ace swords.
I mean, the ace.
Nah, bro, because B can use his. Is he allowed to use his lightning style? Because he can cut through Zabuza's sword with it, as he does with Suigetsu.
So it is a swords fight, but if you want to give them their other abilities, as long as they're not like primarily they are using their swords, then you can give Zabuza like his missed abilities. Well, and all that.
Then Zabuza wins. I guess that's fair. Yeah, that's the problem. So, I think honestly, I think that is the difference maker. If the hit and miss jutsu's involved, I think Zabuza just wins with this because he'll just beat. I don't think B can fight in the mist, but if it's not no jutsu's, just swords, I think B's ace sword technique's gonna get Zabuza. I don't think he can like beat that with only one giant ass sword.
Interesting. Okay.
Because honestly speaking, Zabuza's big thing isn't like necessarily swordsmanship technique. It's more just like it's really just silent killing is the big thing. And then he just has a giant sword. And not to say he's bad at using it, but like the real standout is more the technique behind silent killing. That's his big thing.
Yeah.
So I think we did this on our Wacky versus battle that I never posted, which we still need to put on the podcast channel. But I'm going to change it slightly. Equal stats. Zabuza, well, I guess that would, shit. Okay, that kind of ruins it if you do equal stats. I was the equal stats, Zabuza with Samehara versus Kisame with the Executioner's Blade, but like, I feel like that's just Zabuza because Samehara's just better, so it's the problem. Who's some other story? Okay, Mifune with Samehara versus just Kisame with Mifune's sword. Samehara just likes Mifune for this hypothetical.
Like it. Who you got?
I probably Kisame probably. I probably will Kisame.
I'm going with Kisame.
Okay. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear why you two think that.
I mean, I just feel like Kisame can just spit an ocean on Mifune and then use his super shark bomb jutsu that's almost equaling out with Hirudora. And if it could absorb anything from it, it would have won. I just don't see him. Maybe Samehada can actually absorb. I don't know if Samehada can absorb all of the super shark bomb jutsu or the ocean though.
It's a pretty good sword, though. It's one of the best swords, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts.
You know what? I got a question. Which has more chakra? The one, so we'll just say one layer of Biju cloak. So like version 2 down to version 1. Whatever that layer of Biju cloakness. Versus a 100% Kisame, so not 30%, 100% Kisame's Ocean Jutsu. Super Exploding Shockwave. What has more chakra?
I think it's probably the Biju. I know it's probably the Biju for me.
I'm going with Kisame. Because Kisame's the tailless tail piece, so if he's just going all out with his jutsu, that's more than just a little bit of Biju chakra.
Well, do you think chakra is stored in the tails?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Okay. There you go.
Only for the Biju. Oh, wait, he's a tail piece, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only for the actual only for Hagoromo's Biju.
There you go. Only for Hagoromo's Biju. I mean, can you prove Hagoromo didn't use Creation of All Things to make Kisame?
I was about to say, maybe he did, considering he's a shark. Hagoromo just created the Hoshigaki clan. We have not remotely talked about Chapter 12 this stream.
Wasn't that like the point?
That was the point of streaming tonight, yeah.
No, well, you know.
Oh, well.
Kind of expected, honestly.
Oh, well. I'll just tell this story. It was pretty funny. I was at work, and I don't remember the context anymore. I was talking to someone, and I just... whatever we were talking about, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I just instinctively called him Oodie. I was like, I gotta cover that up. Which I did. Nobody questioned it, funnily enough. But I was just like, just randomly called someone Oodie. Like, don't even know who that is. I've probably never even heard the name before. Which I thought was pretty funny. In other news, we could look at some more illegal names. Oh, Cam would hate this one. Baby girl and baby boy. That's illegal in Mexico, or sorry, Arkansas and New Mexico. You cannot name your child baby girl. Metallica. So the band Metallica is illegal in Sweden specifically. So the homage to the American heavy metal band was banned in Sweden for some reason.
Can you name your child band? That's an interesting one.
I don't know. That's a good
any
question.
kind of the spelling. They just have to sound like it's pronounced band.
Yeah.
Or it's spelled like it would be like that.
Yeah, you can just do the 1,000,000-letter name and just say, oh, it's pronounced band.
What was the other pronunciation of it? It was like Almid.
Albin was the pronunciation.
Albin. Okay. Albin and the Chickmunks.
Yeah. Were you even listening, by the way?
I should have taken a screenshot of that. No, I wasn't. I'm assuming you're just doing the names.
Well, I switched that midway. I'll tell you quickly the story. It's not that much of a story, but when I was at work, I forgot what we were talking about. It doesn't really matter. I just accidentally called someone Oodie. Out of nowhere.
You, okay, that's understandable because that's a name. Hypothetically, if I did that at work, I was like, "Oh, hey, Kamui, can you?" That's not a name. That's how do I even justify that? You're like, what?
I don't think anyone's ever heard the name Oodie. Like, nobody questioned it either. I just kept going. Played it like it never happened.
Bro, that's crazy. Was it like because you were just texting me or something?
I don't even think I talked to you for a few hours. And I'm pretty sure I said it to a girl. Called her Oodie. Everything about it makes sense. Oh my god. And I don't think we were arguing either. Just called her. I just played it off, and then like yeah, just nobody questioned it.
Bro, I can't believe it. What was like the situation? I'm guessing it was like a coworker. Was it like, oh hey Oodie, can you come get me the plates or something? I don't know. Like,
no, we were just already like we were just having a conversation in the middle of it. I accidentally called her Oodie. You know, like after having, you know, called her by the correct name for the first half of the conversation.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear.
I'm just hoping now at this point that you have the accidental Kamui line. Doesn't make any sense.
Not a chance. I don't even think that's even possible for me to do. No offense. How would I even?
It's just not a name.
So here's the funny thing, is that like if we ever like met up to do a Naruto panel or just like even like at a restaurant or whatever, I feel like I just would like not even think I just would call you Kamui. Like that's just to me is your real life name now.
Yeah. Which is funny because I would just like not even question it. Because I'm too used to it now from your voice.
Like it would almost feel weird to me just to refer to you by your real name.
Like at this point, yeah. It would be like if we just, you know, like calling Free Game whatever his name is, or Mellow whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's true. That is a good point. In fact, it'd be fun to try and convince someone that your name is Kamui.
It's like, oh,
just
what
some
is
like non-anime fan.
No, it'll be funnier.
Like,
this would be
it's
bad.
actually from the Netherlands.
I was gonna try to go to a Japanese restaurant and try to convince them that my name is Kamui. Yeah.
What are the odds they're a Naruto fan? That's the problem.
He's got Japanese parents.
It doesn't make any sense at all. Actually, it might be better if we tell it to someone who happens to be a Naruto fan. They're going, really? That's so cool! Wow, what a crazy coincidence! They might be more likely to believe it just because they would want to believe it.
Yeah. What would be really wild is if just like that person just happened to know of the YouTube channel and they were like, you're Kamui?
Or no, okay. I have a funny thing we can do in real life. Maybe I shouldn't write. Okay, tell me what you think. We try and convince strangers that we are the owners of the other person's YouTube channel. So I pretend to be the Kamui from Kamui's channel, and you pretend to be whatever from, I guess, Screenwriters' channel? I don't know. Whichever of my 12 channels you want.
I pretend to be the author of all their inventions.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that.
Before I've seen it.
No, you just BS your way through explaining the story.
without me having seen it. That's so stupid that it would be so much fun.
Okay. We'll start with this as an intro topic to Boruto, I guess. Is the black cube the Ten Tails Thorn Soul? So did you have, like, more, or was this the whole theory? Was this there's just the whole idea?
Well, that's the topic.
Well, yeah.
I guess.
But...
The reason why I just thought about it in general, I think it started with that Salads and Bolts one about why Jorah might not be the Ten Tails thing, because of he was just going over like Japanese about the way that it says like Kawaki being a Sasuke food and stuff, and then I think somewhere it's mentioned about like Jorah's Thorn Soul or whatever. Or the Ten Tails' Thorn Soul. So like I was just like, oh, that would, like I was like, well, there is a mysterious black cube with the Thorn Soul design on its top, so it could be a Thorn Soul.
Okay, here I'll read this out. So, Salad and Bolt says in Japanese, there's a word for pet food that distinguishes it from human food. It's this word, essa. Usually, you use it when talking about feeding your dog or cat, or the school pet / class pet if you have one. That chore is called essa toban, or feeding duty. I actually didn't know this. This is new to me as well. So there you go. Oh, also it's in katakana. I wonder if this is supposed to be a word. What word would this be? I don't know if it is supposed to be a word. Maybe it's not. Just looking at the words there. Maybe not. Okay. Anyways, it's also where it's also where the translation for fodder comes from in terms of the Ten Tails. You don't use this word for humans, only for lesser beings whose food you don't care to distinguish, whereas human food is usually named or generally called tabemono. He doesn't specify, but that's it. He says literally something you eat. Yeah, so taberu is the verb to eat. Mono is thing, just generally, not in relation to food. It's just thing in general. So tabemono is like eat thing, or just food, thing you eat, or something you eat, as he says. I wouldn't say it's something you eat. I would say it's more thing you eat, because something would almost be like a different word, but I'm being pedantic. You get the idea. So he clarifies in this panel, the translation of what Jorah says is, in terms of Otsutsuki food / fodder, essa, Kawaki alone will be more than enough, but Jorah thinks of himself as an evolved creature. So if he was eating Kawaki, why would he refer to Kawaki as pet food? I'll even go to the panel. I don't know exactly where he says it, if you know.
It's at the end of the panel about the food is the last page of the chapter.
I meant on the page. Do you know where he says it?
Oh, it's the left panel? The one where Jorah?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it where he says it.
Might be like the top right speech bubble. I'm going off memory. Like up in the upper area.
Yeah, I was looking at the bottom left and the bottom right. Okay. That's so hard to see. Let me zoom in. That's eheki. That's right, it's not the kanji. Toshite to Otsutsuki Kawaki. Okay, here we go. Hitori de Jubi. What was this? Jubun. Okay. So this would have to be it. Oh, okay, never mind. It is essa. This isn't a he. It's with the thing. Okay. So yeah, essa. Okay. And that is also the same kanji. So yeah. Interesting. Okay.
This word is also bolded, making me think he's going to feed Kawaki to something/someone else that he deems as a lesser being. Especially since his goal is to devour Naruto. Devour is the word. I guess that's... I don't know what that kanji is, actually. It's really small, but is this different from eat? Because it looks like it would be because it's oo instead of do. Let me just put this into the G-show really quick. Oh, no, it is tabere. Okay. Shoko. Okay, so food. Yeah. That is indeed the word for food. Okay. I don't know how it's being used in this term because it's not a verb. It's going to be down here. Okay. Ku. It's just ku. Okay.
Ku?
Interesting. Ku, yeah.
Like Lord Ku?
K-U-U. Like K-U-U. Not K-U, but K-U-U.
Okay.
2-U.
So that's why you're saying like ku like that, okay.
Yeah. Which has the same kanji as taberu. Yeah, it's the same kanji as tabemono, but it isn't the same word because some kanji have multiple words in them. But like again, the word is still the same meaning food. It's just shoko or ku versus tabe. Whether it's taberu or tabemono, it doesn't matter. Either way, it's still about food. This could also be referring to Kawaki as lesser food because Jura's target is Naruto, and Kawaki has nothing to do with that. But I saw it as referring to giving Kawaki to a lesser being as food. Either way, it's interesting that they distinguish this. What are your thoughts? So here's the thing. So I realized this like the night after we were reacting to the chapter. Jura can't be the Ten Tails. Like we already know because I don't care about the Japanese specific pedantic blah blah blah. Very well, Kawaki alone should be enough as Otsutsuki fodder. Otsutsuki Boruto, I've decided. What does he say? He says something about feeding Kawaki to the Ten Tails. Maybe this is a different translation.
It wasn't one of many translations said that, like, feeding to the Ten Tails separately.
Okay. Yeah, well, if he's going to feed him to the Ten Tails, unless he's just referring to himself in third person, which I highly doubt, Jura has to be feeding him to someone else, which means the Ten Tails also didn't turn into Jura. The Ten Tails isn't derived from Jura. I don't know. It just feels like it's not Jura.
Well, this was going to be a podcast topic, actually. So I'm going to ask you first before I give you an answer that isn't Jura. I'll relate Jura to this later. But what do you think is the Ten Tails? What do you think happened to it? I think we might have already talked about it in the podcast, so you might already have the same answer, but...
Yeah, so I definitely think Jura isn't the Ten Tails, and I've been gung-ho on that since day one. We have talked about this. I think that the Ten Tails is just that tree that was like healing Hidari. And I think that's below wherever it is. It like rooted itself into the ground. It turned back into a seed.
You remember. We talked about this, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say then, what I think Jura is, which is where it's basically the same thing. I think what Jura is to the Ten Tails is the same as what Hidari is to Sasuke. So like Jura is the Hidari of that big tree rather than the Sasuke tree, if that makes sense.
I think Jura isn't the Ten Tails. No, I don't think Jura is to Ten Tails like Sasuke is to Hidari, or the other way, or whatever. I think it is gonna be to someone. It's gotta be to someone.
I don't think so. His dialogue in chapter 9 just makes it like clear that he's just like Biju this, Biju that, more than Hidari.
I mean, I'm fine with it being Soegi.
No, you're not. Not narrative.
Well, they share the same body, and he's talking about like us Biju. That could be in reference to all the Shinju.
No, but I'm talking about chapter. I guess it's chapter 8, not chapter 9, when he's like, Hidari's like, well, how do you know it's Naruto? And he's like, well, he is a Jinchuriki possessing a Biju as a fellow Biju. or is an incarnation of a fellow Biju. I can sense the chakra within him. Well, Hidari clearly can't because he never senses it, so...
I mean, maybe he's just not doing it because it's not his target. He doesn't want to. Like, hypothetically, if Jura doesn't exist, how is Hidari going to find Sarada? Is he just going to, like, stumble around until he finds her? Like, narratively, it makes sense if he would just be able to sense in general.
I don't know. He didn't sense Sarada. He just found her. Bro wasn't even looking for
Sarada. I know,
Sarada.
but I'm saying, like, that's my point. If he was looking for Sarada, how would he do it? Would he just be stumbling? Like, narratively, they're not going to do that. Like, I don't want to use that as my in-universe excuse, but, like,
I mean,
would be the case.
If Jura isn't, like, the Ten Tails equivalent of, like, if Jura isn't, like, the Hidari to the Ten Tails as Hidari is to Sasuke, the only other person I'd really say would be Code or Kawaki then. Code, I mean, granted though, with Code's case, that to me, that's basically the same. Because like the Ten Tails directly got that chakra from Code, so like I think that can just apply.
It's still weird to me how the Ten Tails got the chakra from the claw marks. The claw marks are wrapped around it, not like inside it. Like, it didn't devour the claw marks. It's not like the claw marks got seeped into it somehow.
What's also weird is just the fact that they gained sentience in the first place. Because it's not like because Boruto's theory at least, which presumably Kashin Koji probably told him, is that Code's Otsutsuki essence and the white karma could be the reason why they've started evolving into divine trees. So it's like Code is Otsutsuki enough to start the process, but not Otsutsuki enough to finish the process, right? So why did they give them sentience? Because it's not like they get sentience when they eat the Otsutsuki either.
Well, we know the Ten Tails is, like, obviously conscious or whatever, and it would make sense to me that if the Ten Tails had the ability to have the Claw Grimes be conscious, it just would. So, like, hypothetically, the Ten Tails could just deactivate the Claw Grimes, so, like, it wouldn't want to do that because it wants to have the Claw Grimes go out and eat, so it would want to do that. My point is, the Claw Grimes are, like, conscious, but they're not, like, sentient, if you know. But my question is, why are they turning into their own being rather than the chakra from the people that they're getting? Like, why isn't Hidari literally just Sasuke?
Well,
like, where is the variation or difference coming from? Because it's not like the Ten Tails has its own personality or whatever. It's like a operating on instinct being. So it's not like they're merging personalities or anything.
Well, that's where, so the problem is...
You have nothing, and you give it something. It's just that something.
I don't think it's just about the divine, like, the Shinju people having sentience. Because, for example, the Rinnegan Claw Grime that chokeslams Kawaki, which is the old... I do think it would be good if they showed more than one Claw Grime be like this. But that one was... Whether you want to say it had full sentience or not, it was clearly developing sentience. It's very similar to when the Ten Tails was controlling Obito, and it's like, Obito? Confused. So it's like, it's more sentient than it was. So it seems kind of...
clearly. I don't think it's clear at all.
Huh?
It seemed like it was operating on instinct to me.
Well,
the thing is, it's operating on instinct, but it's not like a robot. Like, all Ten Tails has always just been, like, devious, evil, sinister randomly.
No, but like, my point is that one had more sentience than the other Claw Grime. The fact that it can speak English.
Why? I mean, is Otsutsuki an English word or a Japanese word? Like, is it? It feels like it's a foreign word.
It could just be human speech. Is the point? Language. The Ten Tails can't do that. So it is just...
Well, maybe it can, though. Like, maybe it is an instinctual thing. Like, a reaction to the Ten-Tails coming, or the Otsutsuki coming near it. In the same way, like a doctor bangs on your knee and your knee automatically flies up. Like it might not even be recognizing or thinking that it's doing that in and of itself.
My point,
involuntary response.
My point is just that it was gaining sentience to some capacity. Now,
and my point is that I don't know if it gained that. It might have already had that. You could say it's displaying it. I'm fine with that. But we don't know it's gaining it.
All right, let me see if Boruto tells Sara and Sumire about the sentient stuff, or if he only tells Shikamaru. They've already started evolving into divine trees. And that's because of codes, clock rhyme, chakra shenanigans, and then Mitsuki. Okay, so it's gonna be the next chapter that I need. This is chapter 8. It might be chapter 8. All right, let's just see what he says. Omnipotence, blah blah blah. Okay, chapter 8.
We also shouldn't take this as a gospel truth. Let's keep that in mind.
So not only are they self-aware, they've already started evolving into divine trees too.
That's in reference
this is
to
where it's just weird though. So this is the this is what I don't like about okay.
I already know. We've already had this rant, but we might as well have it again.
Two things. They've already started evolving into divine trees. The Ten-Tails are using their chakras. It's 2 pages apart. It just, which is it, bro? I don't like, but anyway. He's not being clear as to whether all the clock rhyme are just evolving because they, code. Because he says it's via the clock rhyme, what code did. Via the clock rhyme's already weird, but instead of via the clock marks. But it's just like, are the clock rhyme evolving like the Rinnegan one? And then let's just say this is level 1, Rinnegan guy's level 2, and let's say level 3 is the more evolved one, the full sentience one. And that's what happened to the main body of the Ten-Tails when it turned into a tree. This is weird.
This is why I said don't take it as gospel truth. Because, Jura's calling themselves the Shinju, which literally means God tree, but Boruto's saying they're starting to evolve into it. And even, okay, let's say that Jura's just wrong, then they're starting to evolve. Why are they starting to evolve into it? Don't they need to eat a Otsutsuki to evolve into it? Shouldn't they just be as evolved as the clog rhymes are themselves?
So, I want to wait on the Shinju.
Or whatever.
The 4 Shinju people, Bug, Hidari, and them, till later. I want to just start with the Ten-Tails itself. According to Boruto, they've started evolving because of Code's chakra into divine trees. So that would explain the giant tree in the dimension. The Ten-Tails turn into that because it started evolving to a divine tree. My question, though, is just seemingly it also got sentience. It both started becoming a tree and started getting sentience, but why? Because it doesn't seem like, according to Boruto, the divine tree normally just gains sentience.
I mean, they become more like a divine tree, but then they become less like a divine tree because they become more human. I mean, like humanoid, not like humanity.
Even that, though, sense, but regardless, it's just weird because, I know there's, a precedent for, the Ten-Tails. Maybe if it had more time with Obito, could have gained sentience, whatever. If it stayed in control, blah, blah, blah. But it's just is it because Code is it the human in Code is giving them sentience but the Atsuskian code is giving them Divine Tree? If so, why doesn't the Atsuski give them sentience? Because they have sentience. So it's just weird. Like, they just need to explain that specific difference. Because, like, Kaguya has humanity. Like, she has sentience is the point. It's the sentience part. So I'm just like, is it a thing? There's something specific about the Atsuski's chakra that just ignores the sentience? But because code isn't Atsuski enough, it's paying attention to it? Like, we just need to be explained that, I think. It's still weird, but...
this is me being a little pedantic, but the way trees work in real life, you can't just take off a piece of its bark and then bury that and it turns into its own tree. It's not how that works. It has to be a seed. And so that's basically what claw grimes are. They're the bark. So they have to have
claw grimes. If you take a sunflower seed, rip it in half, and then go plant it in the ground, and it still becomes a sunflower. Just a smaller one. I don't think you can just do that. Like if you,
I'm comparing the Shinju to bark. I think they would be more like bark.
Well, no, but the claw grime would be the seeds.
Why?
Because the 10 tails is the seed, and the claw grime are the 10 tails split up. So, if you took a sunflower seed, grinded it to dust, and planted the dust particles in the ground, could they still become sunflowers in any capacity is the question.
The thing is, a seed isn't actually the seed that we think of it. You think of the seed as the hard outer shell layer. That's like an egg. The egg is actually the yolk. I
understand, but would it still work?
So, no.
Well, then the clock
killing the seed. You're damaging.
But ignoring that.
But it's like, it's not a human tree anyways, it's an alien tree, so it can operate under its own rules.
Yeah.
So it's something that I refuse to acknowledge. I'm just not going to believe Boruto that it's because of Code's claw marks or grimes or whatever. There's some catalyst event that isn't that. Maybe you can say that might have something to do with it. I mean, that's what made the claw grimes in the first place, so that has something to do with that. But it's taken 3 years for the claw grimes to react to the Otsutsuki chakra and the claw marks. No, it hasn't. I refuse to believe that, bro. It's not gonna take 3. If it's gonna do that, then they're gonna transform over time. They're not just gonna transform all at once, and it's gonna be all of them. Why are only some of the claw grimes transforming? It's gonna be all of them.
That's the weird thing because
they all have the claw mark.
You could say like, I mean, I think it's fair. They do have a little bit of variation. Some transform faster than others. Maybe the one that had the Rinnegan just has more claw marks on him, for example, to make that happen. I think that's fine. But, like, he shouldn't have been the only one. Like, we should have seen, like, maybe he's the first one, and then we start to see a few more. And the point is just that more and more are evolving, and then maybe that first one, or then we see another one that's evolved even more than that one. Maybe he opens up a second Rinnegan. I don't care how you display it. The point is, you show them evolving more and more. Then Boruto gets to the 10 tails, and that one can, like, open its eyes with 2 Rinnegan and disappear or something. You know, just to show that one has evolved the most. But the problem is it doesn't show that. The friggin' main body of the 10 tails looked like it hadn't even evolved. Like,
I mean, so we know the catalyst can't be Code with the claw marks, because that didn't work. The catalyst can't be the claw grimes eating people, because that didn't work, because Sasuke was eaten a freaking year or 2 ago. So then what's the catalyst if it's not that? Well, we have it pretty much narrowed down. It's probably either Kawaki or Boruto. Either Kawaki getting slammed and the chakra absorbed, or Boruto's presence. But somehow the 10 tails reacted.
But then all the claw grimes should just evolve in their presence. It shouldn't just be one claw grime. It should be all the claw grime that were near Kawaki, or all the claw grime that were near Boruto. And a direct contact shouldn't matter, because Kawaki makes direct contact with the claw grime he kicks, and Boruto doesn't make direct contact with any of them, including the 10 tails.
Well, as ragged as his shoes are, Kawaki was wearing shoes, so no direct contact if he kicks it.
Okay, but Boruto doesn't make direct contact with any of them.
Well, plus, just because you make direct contact doesn't mean you're automatically having your chakra absorbed. Like, I feel like you can just hug Kisame without having any of your chakra absorbed.
Well,
it just doesn't feel like absorbing it.
But even if, let's just say, first of all, that Rinnegan Clockgram dies, but let's just say hypothetically he absorbs Kawaki's chakra, transmits it back to the Ten Tails, then why doesn't it evolve then? And also, why would it be gaining sentience instead of just turning into a tree? Like, and also, why is Jura saying that it's all thanks to code?
So, it seems like the Rinne Sharingan is like the quote-unquote pure eye, or at least the farthest eye we have besides the Jogan, that is like of Otsutsuki origins of the Ten Tails. Like all Ten Tails seem to have the Rinne Sharingan. So it seems like the Rinnegan is the devolution of the Rinne Sharingan. Mm-hmm. Why do the Claw Grimes have devolved Rinne Sharingans? Mm-hmm. Why do they just have Rinnegans?
Maybe it's because their chakra
like it feels like there has to be outside element. No, but that doesn't make sense.
I mean, it can.
If you're gonna say that, it would just make a smaller Rinne Sharingan.
I can understand it at least.
No, because you would have the same ingredients, and they'd be going applied to the same degree, the same like ratio. So you would just be making a smaller cake. And that Rinnegan is smaller. So it would just be a small Rinne Sharingan.
Hear me out. We don't know the color of these. We know that you can just lose Tomoe by not having enough chakra. Sasuke does this in Naruto Gaiden. His Rinnegan Tomoe Rinnegan just loses the Tomoe when he's lower on chakra. Oh, yeah. So what if that's all that's happening? Maybe their eyes just are red, like the Rinne Sharingan, but they lost the Tomoe. We don't know.
That's fair. I did consider that, and you are right, but like, we just don't know. It just feels like it's the purple one, though. It just looks like it would be.
It does, but in fairness, so would the Rinne Sharingan in human eyes. So like,
yeah,
it's like the same thing. Like, so that's the problem. Because we haven't gotten a colored panel of this. Wait. Did they color the eyes of the Shinju purple, though? In those, the weird Matsuri cover, wherever that was?
Pretty sure they do, yeah. And wouldn't that be weird?
Yeah, so why would they have it, but why would the Clocker have Rinne Sharingan? These guys... Rinnegan.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Okay, what clip is this? The Rinne Sharingan makes no sense.
Yeah, because look at this. That's definitely like the purple eye without zooming in.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so because what I'm getting at is like the ratio. It wouldn't make sense to make the Rinnegan if this is the case. The only way it would have to work is if the ratio is being changed through the addition of non-Ten Tails chakra, and that would either be Code or Kawaki, but they both have Otsutsuki chakra, which also, that sort of says the Otsutskis are like the first devolution of the Ten Tails. Like the Otsutsuki like are birthed from the Ten Tails or something. They come from the Ten Tails. I don't know, but it feels like they're like the next in line, the next generation of Ten Tails itself, if that's the case.
Well, it depends on whether Otsutsuki are like evolved Ten Tails or if Otsutsuki are people who ate a chakra fruit and then they can become Ten. You know, it depends on like how that all worked. But
at the very least, I think Ten Tails are definitely not evolved Otsutsuki, because then why would they all have their Rinne Sharingan? Like evolution doesn't work to like narrow down to a certain thing. That would be bottlenecking, but that's not what's happening here. Evolution would be expanding outward to branch out to different things that could happen, rather than all being the same thing from multiple different things.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Where does the Byakugan even come from? That's my question.
I guess a devolution of the Jogan, but where's the Jogan come from? The original
Yeah,
Ten
that
Tails
we need
Shiba?
to
I don't
know.
know.
Because it doesn't feel like that's connected to the Ten Tails at all. Like the Rene stuff, Ten Tails, sure. But like the Byaku stuff, nah.
Also kind of weird how without eating chakra, like Momoshiki, Urashiki was just able to just have the Rinnegan. I don't care if it's a mental lamp or what. He just seemingly unlocked it on his own. To be fair, he did like eat human chakra, but like that shouldn't matter.
Well, he could have
I
had
guess
chakra
he did
pills. Like
Mitsuki's.
he could have eaten a chakra fruit before, just not as much as Momoshiki.
Yeah, he could have had it before. That's fair. That is fair. Okay, I didn't think of it. My fun theory. Okay, he ate Mitsuki's first, didn't he? I think Mitsuki might have the essence of what could be Rinnegan chakra.
Well, he didn't eat
like
Mitsuki's.
Would he
He just
have?
put it in the gourd in his back. He ate it in the time slip arc, but he ate the gourd, but he never ate it before then.
Okay, then you're okay. That theory goes out the window then. Yeah. It would just have to be he had eaten the chakra fruit before.
Or chakra
I mean, that would make sense.
Least.
He's revered as the strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why he'd be revered as the strongest. If bro, like, was bro just born that way?
And then he eats a Sonai to evolve and get stronger, which is weird because that's like you're taking your own internal power and like turning it into like a. I feel like the only way Urashiki's transformation makes sense, considering it's coming from an internal energy source rather than an external energy source. He's not gaining energy. He's almost doing what Baryon mode is doing to her. I feel like it has to be a temporary transformation.
Well, what I was
temporary
thinking,
strength increase,
which kind of makes sense with what happens anyway, is it's like a trade-off, to where he's trading the hacked abilities of his Rinnegan in exchange for the pure power boost.
Okay.
The problem though is he just gets another Rinnegan, which should be a stronger powered Rinnegan. So what if he just eats that one? He just keeps doing this shit. It keeps walking through the floating.
I mean, that can. That's funny. No, I think that Rinnegan probably had less chakra in it, if that's the case. I think how that would work is if you considered the Rinnegan an external part of your body in a weird way. Almost like a person with a gun, to where like it's like their arsenal, but it's not attached to them. So like the Rinnegan has chakra just inherently. Like you can take it out of Urashiki and the Rinnegan has Rinnegan chakra, regardless of Urashiki's chakra. So Urashiki would eat the Rinnegan's chakra, and he would just have the Rinnegan's chakra, rather than in his eye that he can use for his eye powers. He just use it for his own body.
I mean, that's one way to
incorporate that chakra into him.
I think it like feels nicer to just say like, oh, he's trading. I mean, this doesn't explain the mechanics. It's just like the concept, but yeah, it's just weird. It's not explained in the story. That's
I feel like my way was. I felt like my way was unironically simpler, but I explained it using more complex explanations.
Either way,
that was just the warm-up topic. Either way.
So,
that was a warm-up topic. So, did you have more to say on that, or?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, the original point was getting at that. I'm thinking currently, at least, unless like Jura just is Kawaki, Ishii, or Koda or whatever through a different mechanic. If he just is the Thorn, like the Ten Tails has a Thorn soul and it goes to Jura. Of course, in that case, the Black Cube wouldn't be the Thorn soul. So if the Black Cube just is the Thorn soul, well, it's not inside Jura. So that would tell me that Jura would have to be something else.
I mean, as cool as the Thorn idea is, sticking with this plant idea, I would have much preferred if they were seeds instead of thorns.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can still do the Thorn idea, but do it with something else. I'll have to see how it plays out.
Because See, just a cedar fruit would have made more sense with like this idea, I feel like.
Yeah. Or even just have the Thorn Souls be the seeds. Have the Shinju themselves. Instead of being called Shinju, Divine Tree, have them be called Thorns. That's cool. I like that. It kind of makes sense too.
I mean, it's depending on like what exactly. So right now, of course, if Jura heals Hidari in the next chapter or the end of the arc or whatever, I'm sure we'll get to see how that works. But right now, what I'm thinking is that the Thorn Soul of Hidari is basically the crystallization, accumulation, whatever word you want to, fancy word you want to use, of what that Clawgrime Sasuke tree lost. So what the Ten Tails took from that tree, what it sucked up. That it sucked up that Sasuke-ness, and that's what that Thorn Soul is. So then, I think either another Clawgrime, probably one of the more evolved ones, has to eat it, and then it turns into Hidari, or just if you get that Sasuke chakra and put it into the big-ass tree in that dimension, part of the tree turns into Hidari. So in this case of Jura, he would just implant it, I guess, just stab the tree with it, and it would just poof out Hidari, or he feeds it to a Clawgrime to bring Hidari back. That's kind of what I'm thinking, because I'm not sure what else he would do to bring Hidari back. I feel like you either feed it to the Clawgrime or you put it in the tree.
I have multiple.
Plants it into the Sasuke tree, and then it gets rid of the tree or something. He returns it to
feeds
Sasuke.
it to Sasuke.
Yeah.
Makes Sasuke chew, like moving his jaw up and down.
I think either has to feed it to Sasuke or stab the tree. The point is he's returning it back.
The mush starts falling out of his mouth because he's leaning downwards. He needs to like lift Sasuke's head up. Like flushing it down with water, hoping it just falls down his throat.
He gives him an IV for the fruit.
Oh my god. Okay, multiple questions for you. First question is, do you think the Sasuke tree is still taking Sasuke's chakra? Now that Hidari was made, or even now that Hidari's dead?
It's just weird, because Boruto says they're using their chakra, that's why they're alive, but I feel like once it's taken the chakra from Sasuke and pooped out its tree, it pooped out its fruit or whatever it did, why does it still need Sasuke anymore?
In fact, what's the big deal about the Soul Thorn? If it's still taking its chakra, it could just turn a different Clawgrime into that new Sasuke chakra that it's now still siphoning from Sasuke. Exactly. You don't need the Soul Thorn to bring Hidari back.
I don't really get, unless, I guess the way they can write around it is just to say that the Soul Thorn will die if Sasuke dies. Like if Sasuke dies, all the chakra will just poof away or something. But that just seems silly. It's not like when Minato died, the chakra inside Naruto of Minato just goes away. It's just stayed there until it was used up. So, maybe it's like a thing to where it doesn't get used up because they keep him alive, and when Sasuke's chakra regenerates, they just keep taking it or something. So it lasts longer, something like that.
I'm not the botany expert, but I'm pretty sure thorns aren't alive. They might be made of living essence, but I feel like it's like a fingernail to a human.
Yeah.
You could just chop off the thorn. It's not going to harm the plant or kill the plant at all. It's not doing anything. It's like an external thing almost.
It's literally like a claw.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. With that in mind, it could make sense that Jura is trying to keep it away from Boruto, not because it's important to Jura, but because it's important to Boruto, because even if they could just make infinite Hidaris, if Boruto releases Hidari by giving him the Soul Thorn, they can no longer make infinite Hidaris.
Wait, say that again?
So it's more like a detriment. So, okay, it's not that the Soul Thorn would have value to Jura by bringing Hidari back, it's that it's a detriment to Jura if Boruto gains it.
Because he can...
then he can free Sasuke, which would prevent Hidari.
Yeah. But he can also... He also just loses Hidari. But...
Oh, yeah. So I feel like his best bet would just be to destroy the Soul Thorn, unless they're going to write it into where that kills Sasuke or some other shenanigans. The thing is, even if they free Sasuke now, the Ten Tails has still seemingly been siphoning Sasuke's chakra. So the chakra that it siphoned from the time interval between when Hidari was birthed and like Sasuke's free, where does that Sasuke chakra go? Doesn't the Ten Tails still have that? Can't it just make us another Hidari even if Sasuke's freed? Because it still has Sasuke's chakra stored.
I mean, it's just weird because I was like, yeah, if you destroy the Soul Thorn, I guess Sasuke can't get whatever he lost back, and that's why Sasuke can't be freed. So maybe he won't die, he just can't be freed.
Well, the thing is, I imagine that future Hidaris will have their own Soul Thorn as well. There's just can be infinite Hidaris and infinite Hidari Soul Thorns that could free Sasuke.
I don't think they're going to do that. Maybe they would. They could, in theory, but I wouldn't like that.
Sure.
So I hope they don't do that at the very least. It's just weird, yeah, because like I don't get why the Ten Tails need Sasuke alive. Unless it's just like the Soul Thorn just poof. But I just feel like, for example, when the Divine Tree produces a chakra fruit, it's what it stole from the life on the planet. Everyone on the planet's dead. It doesn't need them to be alive. So once you take it, you're golden. Why is it keeping Sasuke alive?
So here's my next question. Do you think Hidari is being re-imbued or just taking anything from the Ten Tails or Sasuke or the Sasuke tree or anything? Is that a constant siphoning being given to Hidari after he's birthed, or does Hidari just have his own energy source and he's not taking anything from anything else? Is he self-sufficient, or does he rely on Sasuke staying in the tree or the Ten Tails or something else?
I don't know, because on one hand, I could see it being a thing kind of like Mata with the Ghetto statue, to where he's got to go back at the end of the day and he's got to hook up to the tree overnight or something to recharge. I can see it being a thing to where it is just, even in this case, he could be taking Sasuke's chakra when it does it to recharge. Whether the point is, like, I could see it doing this recharge thing, but it's also just like, bro's already born. He should just be able to recharge the normal way.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird to me that Hidari would be somehow siphoning chakra from the Ten Tails without connecting to it. But then it's also weird to me, and it is the case, that apparently the Ten Tails is siphoning chakra through a different dimension from the Earth dimension from the Sasuke tree somehow.
So
they're just quantum entangled connected.
I didn't like that, and it bothered me. But what I will say, it's not the first time that's been a thing. Two different occasions. One, Boruto movie novel mode, which he does it with this star nonsense. By ignoring that, Naruto manga, Kage is in a different dimension, absorbs chakra from the infinite Tsukuyomi, which is a divine tree related thing.
Sure.
So I will say, it's not like there's no precedent for the idea.
That's fair. It's still weird in all those other cases. It doesn't make this case not weird, but it's still just as weird. But those cases are also weird.
But it just makes it consistently weird.
Okay. So I have my explanation for this. So here's my idea. Hidari can exist on his own just fine. Dandy, even. Hidari can't heal. I feel like as long as Sasuke's in the tree, Hidari can go back to that Tintails, and the Tintails' roots can restore Hidari, specifically with Hidari's Hidariness. If Sasuke's freed, the Tintails maybe can't restore Hidari at all, or it's gonna start like restoring it back to its previous form of like a instinctual claw grime. Because it's not like it's not like Hidari's healing Matsuri essence. No, Hidari's getting Hidari's body back.
Yeah.
That could come from Sasuke's chakra. So it's possible that Hidari can just exist as is, but he just wouldn't be able to heal without Sasuke.
Yeah, or, I mean, it could be both the Tintails and Sasuke in that case, but...
It's also funny and interesting. If Sasuke's freed, and this is the case, we could just get a Sasuke versus Hidari fight.
Only if they can make more than one Thorn Soul situation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that can't happen. But
I think that'd be a fun dynamic, bro.
That would be
so ridiculous.
That would be a hilarious fight. Sasuke asking, "Who are you?" Hidari's like, "Who are you?"
And then he's like, "I'm
wild?
Sasuke Uchiha," and Hidari and character's like, "I don't know who that is." Sasuke's gonna be like, "Well, I don't know who you are."
That would be really funny, but I was gonna say, what if Sasuke's the one who notices the similarities? Like, yo, he's just like me, unlike Sarada. He figures it out.
Well, that's the funny thing. Do you think Sasuke, like, canonically, based on what we've got in universe, do you think Sasuke would recognize Hidari?
Is that me? Itachi? Is that you?
I mean, ironically, I feel like that'd be the best bet of proving whether or not the Shinju look at all like themselves.
Yeah, Hidari notices it.
That'd be so funny. Okay. So, my next question. Do you think the Soul Thorns are getting anything? Like, Hidari's been destroyed at this point. Do you think the Soul Thorn itself is getting any kind of energy from anything right now?
I think it just is
any kind of chakra.
Sasuke's energy or whatever, like, crystallize into that thing.
Okay, so that was gonna be my next question. So your answer is no. You don't think it's gaining anything currently?
Yeah.
Okay. My next question is, I think you also just answered this, and I agree.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
In case your question is related to what I was gonna say.
Well, my question was gonna be, do you think each Soul Thorn has its own unique individual energy? Or hypothetically, could you just use any Soul Thorn on any tree? You could use Matsuri's Soul Thorn on Sasuke, or you could use Hidari's on Matsuri. No? Okay, so it has to be Hidari's onto Sasuke.
I mean, if it's not that just has. But I think it's got to be Hidari to Sasuke, Matsuri to Moegi, and so on. Now, what I was going to say is, if you're questioning, okay, then how do they get the chakra? I think, currently at least, Sasuke's chakra, I think, is transmitted to the Tentail / the giant tree in that dimension. So the giant tree gets Sasuke's chakra, and then it gives it to Hidari when it attaches, or before that point, it just creates Hidari.
Yeah.
Either through a claw grime that it feeds the chakra to, or it just, one of its branches turns into Hidari. But I think it needs to go from Sasuke tree to the big tree, and then from there it does what it does.
I agree. So, okay. We don't have to go back to this heated debate. Do you think, assuming the Tintails is pooping these out by its branches, do you think the Tintails is getting smaller by creating Shinju? Or can it theoretically create infinite Shinju?
So that that was a valid question because I was gonna say like, what does it look like? And part of it depends on what it looks like. If it looks like the Zetsu thing, to where it's like it's got the branch, and then I'm just gonna make this up. It's like the branch is there. The branch, like a water droplet, just poops out Hidari, and the branch stays. Then no, it's not getting smaller. If it's like the branch literally just falls off and turns into Hidari, and it doesn't regenerate, then it's getting smaller. If it does that, but then it regenerates, then I'm going to say, no, it's not getting smaller. The thing that's weird, though, is, I don't want to get to that debate, but at least visually, that tree looks way bigger than the little 10 tails did. It looks bigger than the big blob 10 tails did. Which,
for now, I'm just gonna assume
the divine tree, the part of the divine tree that Obito pooped out was bigger than the 10 tails itself. So I won't say it's unprecedented. So
okay,
I guess it's fair.
Well, okay. Do you think the 10 tails in the War Arc shrunk when it transformed?
But which form to which form?
The blobfish to the sideways face. How I describe it.
I don't think it shrunk. I think it just changed its shape. So, like, it gets, like... I'm just making up goofy stuff. Its upper body gets skinny while its lower body gets bigger, kind of thing. Like...
Yeah.
I think it
becomes more rectangular. Ovaler.
Yeah, like one's a football.
So you're saying exactly what I'm saying in this case.
A long stick. That's the same
so,
area.
in terms of the Shinju, maybe this is just my bias talking, but it is visually depicted as a bigger anus. I think they can make infinite Shinju and it's not getting smaller by making the Shinju. And I think through the same way that it's just like poops it out and it doesn't actually get smaller, it's like the water droplet thing you're saying. I think that's how it was visually depicted with the claw grimes.
So I disagree in terms of the visual depiction and the visual description. I think it was visually depicted as though he was just pinching it apart. That's definitely how he described it. I'd like to think you can at least agree on the description part. But, yeah, I mean, granted though, even though I say that about the 10 tails, I'm not going to act surprised if it just is different with the tree. Why are we surprised?
Oh, well, even if they say it pinches it apart, that doesn't mean it gets smaller.
Yes, it does.
No, definitely doesn't. But we're not going to get into it. So.
Like, pinching it apart, what do you mean? If you take clay and rip off pieces, it's not like the clay's getting bigger, it's getting smaller. The main piece.
Mitosis is practically two cells being pinched apart.
But then they get bigger later on. So they are smaller at first. And then they grow back to their original size.
No, they aren't. They're the same size. They don't grow back to the same size. They are the same size.
I think you're thinking of... Unless I'm mixing up meiosis and mitosis. Oh, let's look it up.
Well, no. Meiosis is just 4 instead of 2. But it's creating a duplicate of the cell.
Okay, that's replicates is different though. So that means it clones first.
Okay.
That's different from the molding clay pinching. You're not cloning the clay.
I mean, you say that, but it's like visually the same thing. Like that's how I'm seeing it.
But the problem is you don't have the replication part with the molding clay. You're talking about the pinching, but it doesn't do this without the cloning.
See, that's where I just disagree, because I feel like the 10 tails itself can just restore itself somehow. Like, it just has regenerative properties for whatever reason.
It should be able to, but it didn't.
Because, like, for example, when the Ten Tails is shooting its branches out, killing thousands of people, including Neji, it's not getting smaller. But it's pinching itself off from itself, if that's how you're going to describe it.
Yeah, but it didn't do enough to actually notice. Like, Code completely split up the tentacles to the point that it was like all that was left was that one smaller body. The tentacles never did that.
I mean, you say that. Yeah, I feel
Code...
like we'd be able to tell that it's smaller. Because these aren't small branches. Like, you see, just based on Neji's, it's like the size of a human. It's a human-sized branch. It
was not a like human-sized branch, Oodie. Stop the cap. Okay, it was like a freaking 6-inch diameter. At the most.
But again, it's not just one branch. It's like 6 branches branching off of the branch.
It's still not human
Like,
size.
You take the volume of it or whatever. It's like 3/4 of Neji.
Also, what if it was just using wood stuff?
What? Okay, then what if the claw grimes are just wood style?
Well, that'd be cool, but they're not.
No, what if that being said, just pinching the two
obviously
elements apart?
If they go the route of you give the Sasuke chakra to a claw grime and it becomes Hidari, obviously we don't even need to discuss the whole molding clay thing because it's just a matter of turning a claw grime into Hidari.
Yeah.
But that is also weird at the same time, as much as I can see it, because when a claw grime got Sasuke's chakra, it turns into a tree. So when another claw grime gets a fruit of Sasuke's chakra, why wouldn't it turn into a tree? And why does conversely, if a claw grime getting Sasuke's chakra turns into a tree, why does giving Sasuke's chakra to a tree turn it into a claw grime, basically, what with Sasuke is?
So, my question, okay. What do you think the Soul Thorn has that makes it unique? Is it just Sasuke's chakra, or does it have Sasuke's essence, or does it have a mixture of Otsutsuki chakra that transforms Sasuke's chakra into Hidari's chakra? What does it have? Does it have Sasuke's chakra, Hidari's chakra, a mixture of both, neither, something else, essence, something that isn't chakra?
I think it's either Sasuke's chakra, slash essence, whatever, Sasuke, or it's Sasuke plus the 10 tails, the amount of 10 tails that was in that claw grime. That boils down to kind of whether you think, like, when a 10 tails hypothetically eats Kaguya, becomes a divine tree, and then it makes a fruit. Do you think Kaguya is included in the fruit, or is Kaguya purely what allows the divine tree to become big enough to absorb more life to make a better fruit? I think that would be the difference maker in terms of whether or not the claw grime's included in this Thorn soul or not.
Well, the chakra fruit is everything. Everything. Absolutely all of it. So I think everything isn't literally everything, obviously. I think everything is like in reference to the record. So it's all of the recorded.
Bullshit. What a stupid record of all life. That makes sense.
So here's the thing that I just realized a couple minutes ago. I'm just going to say it now instead of a couple minutes ago. Naruto and Sasuke are just straight up adequate vessels for like a chakra fruit. Like you could just feed them to the Ten Tails at like pretty much any point. Because like regardless of genetics, they literally have Otsutsuki chakra because Ashura and Indra are Otsutsuki and had Otsutsuki chakra. And like all of their chakra is just in Naruto and Sasuke. It's not that their soul reincarnated, it's that their chakra reincarnated. And like we know through like Borushiki that Kawaki didn't need to be 100% to be fed to the Ten Tails. He was just gonna feed him as is anyways. So I feel like you could just get away with feeding Naruto and Sasuke, and that just would work straight up. Well, you're far away. I don't know. Did you change microphones? Did your earbuds die or something? Yeah, Kamui, I kind of can't hear you at all. Well, Kamui's fixing that. Keeping that in mind, that's really weird. Assuming this is true, which it should be based on that logic. It's really weird how the Tin Tails wasn't really. Oh, there you're back. Okay.
Well,
Hi.
I didn't
Very
realize. I've been walking around talking to you with. I wonder what I sounded like then, because if I'm not mistaken, I just thought I was using my wireless mic. I forgot I switched to the other one, but I've been walking around for a while there. So I've just been talking to you and you just heard me, I guess.
I mean, I could tell that you've been using the wireless one, but it's not at all like it was on the Miso stream. You weren't getting quieter or anything.
I wasn't using
a couple
the
times you were.
Hold on. So do I just sound normal right now over here?
No, you sound definitely farther away, but it's not very quiet. It is quieter, but it's not nearly as quiet as it should be.
So yeah, okay. But I was just doing that the whole time, thinking I was on the wireless mic while I was doing it. So
yeah.
Anyway, so I went upstairs.
No, but it's been happening all throughout the stream. It's not bad.
Well, yeah, but anyway, whatever. What was I saying then?
So yeah, first of all, do you think this Naruto Sasuke thing is
at least somewhat? At the very least, I could see them working to the degree Code seems to have.
Yeah. Now, assuming the cycle actually broke at the end of Naruto and hypothetically they just lost their Indra and Ashura chakra, I don't think, unless the vestiges of retaining it actually is a thing, but I don't think their genetics or anything would be enough to make them adequate anything.
Well, in Sasuke's case, I think the chakra, the Rinnegan's proof of this chakra that he has.
The Rinnegan, yeah.
Yeah, would be, it's Hagoromo-esque chakra. So I think that's something. And then for Naruto, it's not a Sasuke, but 10 tails. What happens if a 10 tails eats a 10 tails? You know what? This doesn't make any sense in terms of the explanation, but hypothetically, what if Code's white karma seal was actually just just roll with it for a minute. It was actually just a 10 tails karma seal, a motto lie, blah, blah, blah. And it's actually because Code's 10 tails chakra is affecting the 10 tails. What if? That's why it's just unique and different.
I mean, I definitely think Jura's going after Kurama. You were saying this when this was a thing. It could just be going after Kage trying to get her chakra back. It could just be the Tin Tails trying to get Tin Tails chakra back.
Well, that depends on whether. Well, it wouldn't be. The problem is it's not the 10 Tails trying to get 10 Tails chakra back. It never lost its chakra unless you think because it's been split up. But then that's Jura, not the Claw Grime, though. The Claw Grime aren't going after the 10 Tails. So, anyway, so I mean, let's just return to this topic. Do you think Jura's target was actually Kurama all along, or was it actually Naruto?
No, I'm still sticking with it's Naruto. It works if it's Kawaki, who Jura is.
I mean, I agree, but I was looking back at chapter 9, and it's so weird. He's like, yeah, we were on Naruto's trail, and hold on, let me go look at his dialogue. It's funny when he just says I'll be frank, this is what the trail it's really goofy, but which makes it just confusing because he just never brings up Naruto again. At first he's just oh, he's here. In chapter 8, he's like, oh, he's a Jinchuriki who bears a Biju, blah, blah, blah. I can sense his chakra. All right, we thought we were chasing Naruto. We saw you, blah, blah, blah. Our business is with his predecessor, Naruto. We came here on Naruto's trail, so we're surprised. He doesn't seem to be here. the only Nine-Tail signature is coming from this girl. And then our sole target is Himawari. You know, don't resist. And then I'll be frank. The trail we follow is Nine-Tails, and we happen to sense his chakra in Himawari. And we need to know why this is the case. He never really questioned. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. Like, I want it to be Naruto, but it's just like, bro hasn't mentioned Naruto once since. So,
I mean, what's interesting is that Jura says that Naruto, like they're following Naruto's chakra, not the Nine-Tails chakra.
No, he says Naruto's.
If that's true,
he said we came here following Naruto's trail, and then I'll be frank, the trail we followed is Nine-Tails. So whose trail is it?
Well, but at one point, you literally said that he was following Naruto's chakra. Naruto's
No,
chakra.
no,
Like,
he said he's a
that.
Jinchuriki bearing a Biju. I can sense the Biju chakra within him.
Okay, well, you said it. I wasn't looking at your screen or stream, but like
No,
you said it. So
I said what I
quoting
just
it then.
said now, because that's not on screen. What's on screen is the Nine-Tail signature.
Okay, well then you missaid it.
No, I
I
didn't.
heard
Go.
you say Naruto's chakra. It's on stream. Stream could just tell us. I don't need to go back. Going back only confirms it for us in this current moment.
You could look at some
Anyways,
more
assuming that it is Naruto's
chakra,
chakra, that's kind of cool because that means that like Kurama was like not absorbed into Naruto's chakra pool, but like Kurama's chakra is in Naruto's chakra pool rather than like separate, which means that like Naruto, like we already know the seal isn't like the same as it was. Like Kurama's quote unquote sealed in Naruto, but like not actually sealed. And so I like that idea, especially with Naruto the Last. If we're just saying for the anime continuity that the yellow chakra is canon, that it's like the blue and red chakra are combining into Naruto's chakra pool to make yellow chakra. Which could be really cool. That's close enough. Just don't question it.
I was thinking red and yellow.
It's KCM. KCM chakra. There you go. By the way, Kamui, you're doing that thing where you walked away again and you're on the bad mic, apparently.
No, hold on.
Like, I can't hear you at all.
I literally forgot again. Dude, I'm telling you, this is crazy. I never realized I could do this before. Let me just switch to the wireless mic.
Oh my god. I mean, you sound great when you're here.
That's too funny. I keep forgetting. Anyway, I think red and yellow to make orange makes way more sense.
Yeah, it's like a bright orange. That's how we'll describe it because Naruto has the light personality, so it comes across as light chakra through his yin. It's bright. That's it.
Sure.
Is your mic breaking? What is happening? Oh, is that talking in background? Never mind.
Huh?
Yeah, never mind. Okay, so assuming that Naruto and Sasuke are adequate vessels, as they should be, based on the Claw Grimes reaction to Kawaki, it's really weird how the Tin-Tails wasn't really reacting very different to Naruto and Sasuke's presence compared to like everyone else's in the war arc. Like maybe that is why the Tin-Tails was transforming, but it felt like that was like Obito and Madara's doing. But it felt like, especially like when it's the tree and it's going after everyone, it's going after Naruto and Sasuke, but it's not going after them more than anyone else. If anything, it's going after
more than everyone
Killer
else. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's like derived from Samehada, and like the Tin-Tails, like the god tree prefers octopus chakra even more than Otsutsuki. Maybe that's how you get the true. Maybe that's how you get the flash to white chakra fruit.
That'd be awesome if like one of their targets just was B because of the octopus flavor.
The Otsutskis have had it wrong all along. The Otsutskis are only the second best diet for it.
There's just nothing quite like the octopus flavor.
But it's not only just not really reacting to Naruto and Sasuke's presence or even targeting them in particular. It is a little bit, but only like because they're like the strongest and the most flashy and focused on anyways. But like even literally having absorbed Naruto's chakra, it's still not like doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
You have your TV on. That's what that is.
Yeah, hold on just 1 second.
Okay.
But forgot what I was saying. Yeah, I mean the
Well, you were saying,
explanation
yeah,
in the war is just B has more
it
chakra.
wasn't
So
thought about yet.
That's all there is to it. But then yeah, like what?
But you said B has more chakra? I don't think B has more chakra than Naruto. Or at least maybe at the current moment he does.
Not than Naruto, just than the others. Naruto not getting attacked like B is just weird, regardless. Well, actually, he did get attacked by the Divine Tree pretty hard. He was gonna have to save him.
Well, I was gonna say that the way you can make that work is Naruto's exhausted all his chakra, so at that present moment, B had more chakra than Naruto.
That could also be possible. But I mean, Naruto did get attacked.
Like, who knows how
After, like,
that
5
Ten
minutes.
Tails would have reacted if Naruto was fresh.
Yeah.
Actually, at one point in time, I thought Kurama did say that he's like restored to 100%, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just making that up.
He probably did.
I don't remember. I mean, it's weird because it felt like it was pretty quick after Naruto like exhausted all of his chakra, but whatever.
Well, Kurama just got it back.
He's just like
He hit
that.
the
Yeah.
Shikamaru
Like, why didn't you do that to
hand
Sasuke?
sign, got his
Right?
chakra.
Like, why is he only giving Naruto enough chakra for one Rasengan? Just restore yourself to 100% and go KC him too.
Yeah. He didn't want Naruto to win too badly. But Sasuke.
Yeah, it'd be really
would have
bad
been
if
really
Sasuke
mad.
had both his arms blowed off. You're really useless against Ishiki then.
Yeah, like, why didn't Barra and Moat just last longer? Just reset their chakra.
So hypothetically, Sasuke just loses both arms and he just learns to do like 0 hand signs for all of his jutsu. How would he perform Chidori? Would he just not be able to do it, or would it just automatically default to Chidori stream, or would it just be like Chidori coming out of his stump?
I was thinking like his head would just be the Chidori and he would just stab a headbutt spear.
I love that. His foot would be really cool, like a dynamic entry Chidori.
Okay, that's probably a lot more realistic. But I was thinking like Jorah's headbutt move on Himawari, but Chidori style.
That's genius. I love it. Bro,
That
if
could be,
Sasuke ran Chidori through his teeth, that'd be a nasty bite.
Yeah, a goofy idea though is Sasuke trains with Might Guy to learn the dynamic entry for his Chidori.
I love it, bro. That's so good. That's also the way to incorporate Guy with his wheelchair into Boruto. I'm gonna be a teacher for Sasuke. That's actually really cool. With that
The
being
fans
said,
would riot.
I had no more.
If Sasuke lost his arm again.
No, even better. The
He loses his
Ten-Tails
other
restores
eye.
his arm, and then against Code, he loses his arm again. After this Ten-Tails restores it, like in the next arc.
But anyway.
But I got no more Ten-Tails shenanigans.
I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of what we're actually planning to do with this stream, but we've been streaming for like 10 billion hours, so.
I know. A couple chats I did want to read, at least in relation to this topic.
Yeah.
Or well, I guess technically the previous topic at this point. Well, I'll just go from here. So Without Only has 4 different comments here. I like Naruto versus Gaara. Naruto's proved right, not by Naruto's actions or words per se. When Gaara's family comes to save him, Naruto is shown right about comrades. That's validating Naruto's path by applying that onto Gaara. I completely agree. He says, they ultimately save him, not his self-serving power. Yes. Also, the fact that Sasuke comes for Naruto as well also proves Naruto's path correct.
Yeah, both of their friends did the same thing.
Yeah. So then continues by saying, mind you, Naruto couldn't hurt Gaara at that point, and Gaara was scared for nothing, but still. Really quick, we really shouldn't get into this. Do you think Gaara could have won that fight if neither Sasuke nor the Sand Twins jumped in?
I mean, it's weird because, like, he seems like he's just out of chakra, so he just can't use sand, I guess. But, like...
He says he's chakra, yeah.
But, like, if he just used sand, he could just win. Naruto can't run away. But also, I mean, like, Naruto definitely can't win because the mother sand should still be a thing, right?
I don't know. Does Gaara's mom operate on Gaara's mom's spirit chakra or on Gaara's chakra? I feel it has to be on Gaara's chakra because spirit chakra seemingly doesn't replenish like Hagoromo's didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, did Gaara's mom even have like Sand Keke Genkai? Could she even do that?
So what she did is she infused her will into the sand. So it's Gaara's sand, but the mom is in the sand.
Can I just say, I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I love when omens are in storytelling. If it doesn't make sense, that's even better. I love how part 1 Naruto especially, early Naruto especially, just had so many of these unexplained omens. Like I feel like Haku's connection to Zabuza is another one of these. It feels like people could just sneeze when you talk about them. Like we already talked about like Lady Luck, the cracking of the tea glass, whenever it rains even. Like there's so like it's snowing when Haku dies, the light trails coming when Naruto dies against Sasuke at the very end, and the rain. There's so many things, bro. So many omens. It's unbelievable. Like even like the air getting thicker or denser or whatever, bro. Like this is an omen with Gaara's mom infusing her will into the sand. I just love all of them. So good.
You know how I know you love omens?
It's in all stories. How? It's not just Naruto.
Because this is like the 3rd or 4th time you said that exact same thing, and every time you say it like it's the first time you're presenting it to the world. I know you love omens. It's like your tail wags and you're like, I can't wait to tell you guys about omens.
Because it's beyond human understanding or nature. It's like infused in like the unfamiliarity element of life, something that we're never meant to understand, and there's a beauty in that. I love it. So good. Something beyond will. It's like transcended to a level beyond. It's like beyond above. Yeah, above. It's transcended above. It's better than anything we could ever hope to be. It is literally the incarnation of fate and destiny intertwined into the crossroads of destiny.
Yeah, this is what led to Himawari being in Jura.
Like, okay, never mind. I take it back. I take it all back.
Kurama and Himawari.
No, but even like Orochimaru's like
lights flickering out, the candlelight being blown out when Kimimaro dies. It's just stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like
Like
the
honestly, like,
demonic
yeah, and he just
aura that
and
he
he knew
eludes.
like what was that candle
Yeah, he
outside of
knew.
omens? Like, because he just knew. Oh, they were just like, could it be Kimimaro was actually dead? Like what was that? Like what Ishiki had, but like for Kimimaro.
Exactly. Bro.
It's just like
And even
Kimimaro's
like
life force just was the candle.
since we were discussing it the other day, even like the Nine Tails attacks before Obito even comes to the village, everyone's looking up at the moon. It's like, oh, I feel like there's air in the air.
Yeah, something.
They're
Yeah,
like, oh,
Kakashi
it
says
feels
something
so
about the
heavy
air.
and dense. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think they're literally sensory ninjas sensing the Obito's chakra or something. I think that is just bad omen sensory abilities.
Yeah,
There should
the
be a word
omen
for this. I'm sure there
senses.
is.
Omen sensory
Yeah, the
ability.
notorious.
Like they should be like a class of ninja, like a special Jonin for their omen sensing.
I love it, bro. Like spectral forces just flying through the air constantly. Something beyond like intrinsic will or natural senses or just I don't know. I just like the connection of like Zabuza and Haku. The fact that Haku just knew. He just knew. There was nothing telling him. It was just his gut feeling, his intuition, whatever drives intuition. Wherever that comes from, intuition's a byproduct of this thing, this intangible, unquantifiable, immeasurable aspect of not even life itself. It's like it's as important or intertwined with life, but it's not life. But it's not death. It's a third thing. It's an omen. I feel like that's a great place to end.
Yeah.
Only went uphill from there.
Alright. Do we have like Mr. Spiraling in the audience to do the outro or anything?
We did earlier, and he was trying to get our attention, and he got my attention, but I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, I saw him too.
He's like constantly like trying to raise his head. But we were talking.
Bro, you're just waffling. You're just
about
waffling.
narrative. No, bro.
Yeah, can you please?
I can have him ruin our
Otherwise, just please
screenwriters.
that'd be like he's really got something to say.
You know, a fun way to like nerf Kabuto is we're giving him Kabuto's like fake strength that he was presenting, like what he was doing in the Forest of Death.
Yeah.
Like he was actually being manhandled by like the random rain ninja who are like making his eyes go bloodshot, or like Dosu. Like there's just so many things. Like just so many people. It's, oh yeah, he was going all out against Dosu, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you can have red eye Kabuto, whatever that means. You know what? Just for the meme, we should put red eye Kabuto on the tier list. Like it's a different form of Kabuto.
I like it. Yes. I'm fine with that.
And pins.
Also separate from like Spy Kabuto, who is below Red Eye Kabuto. Like Red Eye Kabuto, would you say Red Eye Kabuto scales above or below actual full power Kabuto? Because he's mentally amped, but he's in his spy form.
He does say it's the old me, so that might mean Red Eye Kabuto just is regular Kabuto, but without the red eyes.
Well, I think it's actually like what Jigen's describing with Naruto and Sasuke. He's actively stronger, like he's more dangerous when he's Red Eye, but because he's being the spy, he's still passively weaker than normal.
I think he would still be weaker than normal Kabuto.
Because even though you haven't seen it, it's kind of like Azula versus Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender, the final episode, to where Azula's going at it. Like, she's putting more feistiness into it, more motivation, inspiration, freaking aggressiveness, whatever you want to say. She's going at it, like sprinting instead of jogging. Zuko's focusing on his breathing, and because of that, he like maintains his stamina and like able to like use logic and skill and form. Azula's like throwing form to the wind. She's just going at it, just going crazy. And so in the end, Zuko wins because of that.
That was all I'm saying. There you go.
This was Walky Talky, very number one, hyperactive knuckleheadedy. Lots of podcasty, lots of walkie, lots of eaty, lots of devoury, lots of foddery, lots of what's the Japanese words that Salads and Bolts taught us today?
Essa?
Eso! And that stream.
Essa, not Essa.
Essa!
Well, also, the word I taught you. Ooh.
Foo!
You messed that one. It's coo, not foo.
Oh, yeah. Coo!